tried, but I don't violate the rules, right? I've gone to great lengths to curb my speech and say things in a way that I know does not violate any sort of guidelines. Wah, 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 wah. So,
very disappointing to them, by the way.
right. So the fact that you guys are so desperate to silence me, and the easiest way to do that would be just teaching, Use your hasbara to explain, right? Teach me, oh great, great ones, what I'm getting wrong. Because I'd love to know. If you guys look at the thumbnail, you'll see that the rabbi said act of God. He denied saying it, but it's right there. You guys see that? Oh, look. Another one of them is here. Gross. You guys are disgusting. You are disgusting pedos. Joined a year ago. Has no subscribers. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're not pedos. Explain to me how Matitza Buffet is okay, please. I'd love some sort of explanation in that. Because, like, you can even look it up on YouTube and there'll be a few different rabbis explaining the thing. But they don't make it sound any better. Woke up feeling hateful again today. Yes. I go to sleep and wake up proudly hateful of a pedophile cult. Like, do you understand that those typical things just don't work on me? You haven't figured that out? You haven't learned yet that all of your typical, this'll shut the goyim up things, they don't work on me? I'm proud of how I feel. Nobody can convince me that hating pedophiles is a bad thing. Nobody. Jesus could actually fucking appear in front of me and, oh, light comes down, it's all golden and me, and Jesus is like, yeah, pedophilia is all about how you get into heaven, and it's what we really like up there. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, boom, punch him right in his face. Right? I would just, I would be quick to try to kill him. I love when people call me a friar. Like, if I had friar ancestry, why wouldn't I express it? Wouldn't that mean I'm even better than I already am? Which, I'm a better person than most of you for sure. But I would be even better if I could say, yes, I too was raised in the pedophile cult, saw that it was disgusting and wrong, and left. And now I do everything I can to expose and fight it. Right? Like, then I would be even more proud of myself. But this is and I guess, again, are the friars, the people that have identified as friars, calling me a friar as an insult? Like, again, is it because you realize how fucking stupid you are? Look at this shit. His wife must have left. She's never around him anymore. You're giving it away. This one says, I am a friar, spelled wrong, and I know you're, Y-O-U-R, a friar. See, I'm not dumb enough to be one of you because I even catch your spelling mistakes reading it. Because you're using the wrong word. So if you were to use the wrong word in any other context, it would be caught. It's caught here too. You call us it all the time. You call us it all though. All the though. LMAO. So again, this is where you realize, like, obviously, it's a group of friars, F-R-E-I-E-R-S, here right now. This is how dumb they are. They constantly out themselves when they don't really mean to. Or if they do, then that just proves how dumb they are even more. right? Because, again, they never come in here and say, hey, I think you have some misconceptions about what we believe, and I think you're pushing some false information. Here, let me help you understand what you're getting wrong. And yet they never ever do anything like that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? He never denied his wife left. Hello. Yep. I never denied that she left. She's gone. Hey, can I hit that?
No.
Seriously. Seriously, can I hit that?
No, I'm not here. Shush.
I'm getting. Sorry. Shit.
Lee, you're bad at this.
That's the thing. When you have wrong information, we try to correct you and you call people pedophiles. Name one thing you've tried to correct me on. And who are you, right? You're a new person. You've never been here before. Joined 2 years ago, has 1 subscriber. Why are you hiding behind a fake identity? Why don't you tell everybody who you are? Even the wife's over the anti-Semitism. Is she? I think my wife's proud of it too.
Why don't you go look at my page?
Yeah, she's proud of it as well. We're both proud to be anti-pedophile, anti-supremacy, anti-genocide. Yeah, we're extremely proud to be, to be anti-policy or predisposition favorable to friars. Because that's what the word means, right? Notice how you guys are trying everything you can to avoid. I thought you were here to teach. I thought you were here to help people understand. Tell me what I'm getting wrong. He acts like people care about his subs. I was talking about you. See, this is what I'm saying. You're so fucking stupid, you can't even understand what's being said. Now, if English isn't your first language, well, that I guess makes a little bit more sense. But you guys are so dumb, you can't even.
First language. Don't try to burn somebody whose first language is in English. Unless you're going to do it in your language so it actually comes out
Stop
right.
this song.
Translator. But otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Well, I don't understand. Why don't you just, instead of trying to burn and trying to do all this stupid shit, why don't you just address what thing I'm getting wrong and debunk it? You pedophiles. I'm flat out calling you guys pedophiles. So if I'm calling you guys pedophiles, why don't you tell me what I'm wrong about? We're trying, but it's working. It's definitely getting your... Yes. Oh, yeah, you're definitely making my feed less good right now. You're worsening my feed by literally showing exactly what I'm talking about. Not one of you has come in here and condemned pedophilia. Not one of you comes in and says, yeah, as a people, we need to get rid of Matitza Bapay because that shit's gross and blah, blah, blah. This one says, he's mad as F. It's just AF, right? You don't have to write as F. But again, you're really dumb, so... Method, my wife, what do you think about my music?
Fucking phenomenal. It's brilliant.
Is that enough? Can you now answer the questions? Because you're not you're not really engaging here. You're just crying about one thing and then another thing and then another thing. But not one of you seems to be able to even address Matitza Bapay, even address Binding of Isaac in the Bottom of Darkness, right?
You guys don't even know how brilliantly written his music is.
I told you, and he gets mad at you. Who you think I'm mad at you guys for being here? What?
If you guys were to sit down and read it all in writing, you guys would just be blown away.
This one just says, I'm not crying. You're the one crying.
Oh, sweetheart, let's get you some Kleenex for those tears.
Yes. Yes. I am so upset that these friars keep coming in here and proving how stupid friars are and that it's obviously a pedophile cult. Oh, please stop doing that.
Stop proving my point.
Right. Please stop. Stop only making me look smarter and better with each comment. Please. Okay, you're stupid. Hyphen explain. YOUR stupid. Explain. Wow.
Self-explanatory.
Wow, you are amazing. You literally, it's not like you fucked up. You know, you said something or whatever. You know, you accidentally said the wrong words. I know you'll blame talk to text, but talk to text doesn't do that. It doesn't screw that particular thing up nearly like you guys want to pretend it does. You're going to call me stupid. You're going to say you're stupid and not get the you're right. You literally typed 4 words and put a hyphen in for some fucking reason. I don't even know why you put hyphen explain. That's not what you would put there. But you got 4 words, you couldn't even get them right. And I'm stupid? Amazing how that works. Yes, you are, or you wouldn't be talking like you are. What does that even mean? Are you suggesting that people that say we should kill pedos and overthrow pedophile cults, there's something wrong with them? I'm really trying to figure out your logic, for lack of a better word. If you're YOUR, not Friar, why does my profile picture have you with a yarmulke and Jewish? Because I matter so much to you guys that you make fake pictures along with fake profiles.
It's fucking sick. You guys are sick in the head.
But it's just amazing. Like that's what you do when you're
in your spare time. You have nothing better to do.
No, that's what you do when you're in love with somebody. When you're a huge fan of someone. You know, and that's even to a level that I don't understand. I would never ever do such embarrassing bullshit. You know, I just that level of desperation is so fucking far beyond me. Right. So far beyond me. I just, you know, I'm way too fucking smart. I'm way too superior to you to be able to wrap my head around it. What prison you in? Yep, in prison. And he claims he's not mad. I mean, again, I don't understand. What part's mad? Is it the smile? Is it the laughing? Is it the reading the stuff out? Because if it bothered me, why would I even bother reading it? Okay, you are stupid, explain. What?
Speak English and what?
Hey, like this, again, this is the best you have, right? I'm stupid because I think we should kill pedos and overthrow the pedophile cult that pulls the strings. Yep, sure am stupid. Obviously in denial. Yep, you could tell they didn't pay attention to the expo maker on the whiteboard in school. Like what? This, again, think about this. These are all people who identify as Jewish. And not one of them is able to like say anything good about their cult.
Doesn't make any sense for that matter.
Right.
Can you speak complete sentences that everybody can understand?
All of these people are here in opposition to me. And yet not one of them can pick a single thing I've said and do what I do to their shit. They can't deconstruct, they can't debunk, they can't. It's just weird ass confirmation that they're so stupid they think it's like working for them. And they don't realize that the majority of us are like, you know, there's a lot of people here, my wife included, right? That at some point was like, oh, it's just some dumbasses, right? But after all of the effort and energy and all that put into play, I've been saying the whole time, it's Israel. It's the friars themselves. It's their network. It's the secure community network. It's act.IL. It's Team Jorge. It's these things. All you guys have done is completely remove the idea that it's just some people fucking around. You've confirmed everything I've ever said. I mean, you seem pretty obsessed with Jewish people. Yes, absolutely. I am obsessed with eliminating that cult. It would make sense for our number one fan to make a picture like that. What? Why would I ever have to make... You guys do it. You guys make all the memes I ever need. The only thing is, it doesn't bother me, which bothers you. Like, when I can, if you guys send me all the pictures you have of me and all the different memes and shit, I'd make a video out of it. But remember, these are all people that have known for a long time. All they have to do is make the Guy Williams Sucks video. Make the Guy Williams Sucks video. Debunk. Just pick one of the things I talk about and then make the video debunking it. And then let me know that you did. And I'll watch it live and, we'll have some fun with it. I can't wait to see what I'm wrong about. I would love to know. But this is, this is all how it works. This is what they have. And like, again, do you expect the Whitakers to be able to fucking put forth a good argument? Hell no, man. They're stupid. They're inbred fucking stupid on a level we can't imagine. If it didn't bother you, you wouldn't be reading the comments and addressing them. What? So you're saying that the comments are bothering me, which is why I'm reading them and then addressing them, instead of avoiding truth like all of you fucking cowards. Right? Because the avoidance game is your specialty. I don't understand what... So either I read the comments and it's because it bothers me, or I don't read the comments because I'm scared. Which one is it?
Whoa.
You already said you were a friar. You can't take that back now. You've already admitted it, you dumbass. Trying to sound intellectual by yelling. Okay, yep, I'm yelling. Yep.
No, he's just really loud. When he's yelling, you'll know.
Yep. Loud and clear. No mumbling, no mincing words, no misunderstandings being had. I banged his wife. She says she actually doesn't think his music is brilliant. Now you're fantasizing about being where I am? I bet you really want to go down on her after I've been there, right? Wouldn't that be like your real big fantasy? I know, on your time, I was making fun of the Egmo guy that wasn't on your time. Sure you were. It seems to me like one of your biggest flaws is you do this fallacious argument thing, assuming everyone who challenges you on anything you speak about must be Jewish, respectfully. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be. If you're not a friar and you're somehow challenging me on the idea that we should kill pedos and overthrow their control scheme, I love this notion that these people keep pretending like they try to give arguments. None of you actually try to debunk anything. You just cry. Like, you came with this big, long-ass comment. How come you can't do one of those comments about something I'm actually talking about? I only know what you guys present to me. And I can only imagine that piece of shit friars and pedophiles are the people that are opposed to me. Anyone else, man, that that's a whole new can of worms there. I'd love to know what it is. But the thing is, you guys always have the opportunity to say why you're here, to say what it is that bothers you so much, to explain yourself, and you never seem to. Remember, this guy thinks Kobe is alive. Yep, sure do. Sorry, the idea that the woman that signed his death certificate doesn't exist kind of seems weird to me. Yeah, I want to go and fucking kill Tony. Yeah, right. Kill Tony's a dumbass. He won't even answer. He won't even answer comma, just the Jews. Yeah. I don't know how stupid they are. They've been getting away with it for a long time. It's not about it's not about stupidity in that regard, right? In that regard, it's more about, they're not the smartest people, they're the most ruthless. The rest of us are the type of people that if we see a child struggling, we're going to help. They're not. They're the type that starve children and rape children and do all those horrible things. So when you compare, who we are as people, especially considering we're so fractured, a lot of it too comes from them employing brilliant goyim, stealing all of their ideas and strategies, and then killing them or putting them up somewhere nice so they just, they're out of the way. There's a lot of us out there who are like, you know what, if it means either shut my mouth and live a good life or go the Guy Williams route, I'm going to shut my mouth and live a good life. But this has nothing to do with intelligence. This is ruthlessness. This is willingness to go further than the rest of us are. Not to mention, like when you apply the whole bottom of darkness shit and you understand the MK Ultra, compartmentalization, abuse that gets done to the majority of them as children, and you understand that this creates a psyche, this creates a psychopathy that the rest of us can't even begin to, relate to. Most of us can't be like, oh, here, I'm going to get on a bus. You drive the bus into a neighborhood. I'm going to get off the bus and try to, I'm going to fight getting off the bus so I can run into a house that I know people were in. A family was in a couple of days ago. There's still food in the fridge and in the cabinets and shit that's not spoiled. I'm going to go into their house and now that's my house. All their stuff is my stuff now because I got off a bus and I ran faster than the other people. Most of us aren't capable of doing that, right? Oh, now we are cowards. More name calling and now someone else. You are a fucking coward. Yes. It's not even name calling, it's identification. I love how he attacks the Friar Faith, then plays victim, blames, and deflects. What are you talking about? How am I the victim? I love how they always, it's clear that they're all taught from the same school. And they're so used to these things typically working on dumbass goy that they're kind of struggling with this. So they're saying shit like, I attack their cult and then I play the victim. How am I playing the victim? My main goal right now is to protect Jewish children above anybody else. I think the way that we fix the world is by protecting Jewish children. Now what? Anti-Semitic. Now you're just showing how stupid you are. Because you guys are the anti-Semitic ones. The Palestinians are the Semitic people, and you're the ones that are trying to, you know, based on the Zionism narrative, create a homeland with as many of you and as few Arabs as possible. All right? I mean, it's all like nothing I'm saying isn't true. That's why they keep struggling so much, trying to come up with stupid things to say. If you're gonna say it, then say it correctly. It's anti-Semitism. I am opposed to supremacy. Policy or predisposition favorable to friars? Yes, I proudly oppose that. No one should get policy or predisposition favorable to them. He didn't even know the difference between people named on YouTube. Oh, let's see. Is there anything cry? That's the problem. Anytime someone see, look at this shit. Look at this. They can say these long ass comments about what I do. Every time somebody challenges you, what? Where am I being challenged? Who is challenging what I'm saying? I would love for you guys to try to explain Matitza Bape. I would love for you guys to justify, outside of an act of God. You can see the screenshot in the thumbnail of the one rabbi saying that raping children is an act of God. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Oh, Nikki, why are you deleting your messages? Cowardly, cowardly. I'm going on my return and you recommend I do. Kill yourself. That's what I recommend you do. This guy is stupid. Sorry, I had to mount you to get it through. Sure you did. I suppose most people don't believe it. They are so disgusting. Yeah, no, they don't, because we aren't like that. We don't look at a situation and be like, oh, that's okay. Like, let's just, they're only children. Let's turn a blind eye to it. Although you do when it comes to certain things, for sure.
Everybody knows if you're a young girl going to California to be a model, you're probably going to get raped. You're probably going to get told you can be a model.
Or you're going to have to do the casting couch. Right, the casting couch.
So, and yet these stupid young girls keep going to do it, and their stupid parents keep letting them.
And we know it's Hollywood. You can't say it's because it's just this wide range, this huge variety. It could be anybody. It's not.
But rape by choice, because in that situation that kind of is not all we're talking about. We're talking about the ones that are snatched out of schools and from bus stops and, from roller skating parties at roller rinks and shit like that. It's that too.
Lured into something through the internet. Roblox.
Yep.
There's a lot more going on than just one thing.
The girls going to get famous. Yeah.
But what you see, and this is something that I can't stress enough. There's a reason why so many pedo hunters can exist and be so prolific in what they do. Dads Against Predators catches multiple guys per day because it's a much bigger problem than you realize.
What area do they work out?
Everywhere. They go random places. Yep, they go random places in the country. They set up, and within an hour or so, they already have one on the hook and another one in the waiting. And
that is fucking sick.
Yep. And the funny thing is, right? Look at all these comments. Have any of these people even acknowledged how disgusting or wrong pedophilia is?
Did you see the hats I sent you?
No, I couldn't see them at the time. From what I'm seeing in chat, at least nobody is actually defending friarism as much as criticizing you. I don't really understand why you insist the two must be interlinked. So let's break it down because you're clearly not very smart, right? If I'm wrong about something, and instead of addressing what I'm wrong about and actually making sense, therefore making me look stupid and proving that I'm wrong, instead of doing that, you come and talk shit about the guy who thinks we should kill pedos? Well, who does that make you sound like you are? You could literally be doing anything else in the world. You could be watching anybody else on YouTube. You could be playing video games, watching movies. You could be outside going roller skating. You could be cutting your lawn. You could be skydiving. You could be swimming. You could be doing anything in the world. You could be with another human and having relations. You could be watching porn and jerking off. You could be doing any of those things. And instead, you're here talking shit to the guy who thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow friars instead of actually telling him what he's wrong about. Gee, I wonder who you are. You protect Jewish kids but hate Jews? What the fuck? This guy's slow. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that I would say we should protect Jewish children from the cult that violates and rapes them. Yeah. Whoa. See, but again,
this change a group of people is get rid of those that lead it and get to the youngest to reteach them correctly.
But see, this shows you something, right? This again shows you like their mentality, right? Like they're not saying you're right, we should protect the kids. They just don't see that connection there. That protecting the kids, it doesn't matter who the kids are. They could be the children of awful, vile, disgusting friars. They're being forced into that, right? They're not, it's not a race. We're not talking about a race of people. We're talking about a choice. People can convert to it. So to say, oh, well, those are the friars' kids, so we shouldn't care about them. You know, because the friars say it all the time. They talk about how they should kill Palestinian children because those Palestinian children will grow up to hate them. So instead of having to deal with them as adults, you just kill them as children. There's video after video after video of friars saying that exact thing. That's how their thought process works. They're the type of people that control the media. So when it's a news, when it's a wartime situation, back when they first sort of had access to TV and all that, they thought if they showed us the absolute atrocities of war on the news every night at dinner time, that we'd be like, yeah, kill them more, because that's how they are. Instead, unanimously, across the country, the Goyim were appalled at the atrocity. You're burning down these huts with flamethrowers? The fuck are these little hut people doing? The Pulitzer Prize winning photo of the whatever Malaysian girl running down the street naked with her skin falling off because napalm just was felled on them. Yeah, we didn't see that and go, yeah, kill them all like they do. We saw that and recoiled. We were like, what are you? Oh my God. And we didn't even know how to respond to it. So instead, they sent us back and we spit on us who were following orders to be the buffer zone between us and them, because none of them got in trouble. None of them got spit on. They spit on a lot of people. As a matter of fact, spitting on Christians is a favorite pastime of the friars in Israel. They love walking around and spitting on women, especially women who won't fight back. Or if they see a smaller man they'll spit on them. They would never spit on me. I beat the shit out of them. I don't care, 2, 3 of them, I beat the shit out of them. Let's see what other dumb shit they have to say. Have you even read the Bible? The land is clearly supposed to be to the children. Right. Because the Bible's not just a Jewish fairy tale, right? It's not just some Jewish propaganda bullshit. The Bible is now some sort of historical event that should matter. Have you even seen this? I'm so glad I'm enough to say these things. Because this is exactly why you're a Christian. Do you get it? He's telling you. You're a Christian so that you go, oh, well, that's clearly theirs, and take from us and give to them. They're special, they're chosen. That's why the Bible exists. That's why you're a dumbass Christian who believes that the bad guys in your Bible, Satan only makes sporadic appearances. The bad guys in your Bible are the children of Abraham. Those are the people that kill your Jesus, your only superhero and God's only kid. And those people are your God's, your Christian God's favorite chosen people. A completely different religion that believes in fucking Mary is boiling in a cauldron of semen in hell, if, or at least their version of hell, whatever it is. Do you guys like? I mean, I just don't even know how to like try to approach people from a logical perspective, and they shut down. Try to approach people from their own belief structure perspective, and they shut down. You've been so programmed that you just can't think past it. Jesus was a Jewish preacher. He's from the Davidic line. Like, there's no questioning this shit outside of it's not real, right? Because it's all just fake bullshit invented somewheres in the 1800s, shortly after whatever reset happened. You know, they used their chat GPT shit to, I mean, understand, Hebrew was invented in the late 1800s, early 1900s. The first Hebrew dictionary was published in like 1903 or something like that.
So it started in like the 1880s?
Yeah. Yeah.
83 years. 84.
Well, 1882, with the auto emancipation pamphlet that says that anybody that questions anything that has to do with their superiority has psychosis, psychosis, mental disorder, and shit. Just look it up real quick. It's so easy to figure out. So, auto emancipation. There you go. Pamphlet written by German, well, anonymously written in German, and then later attributed to Russian, Polish, Jewish doctor who had his law degree but wasn't allowed to practice law, so he became a doctor instead. And activist Leon Pinsker in 1882, it is considered a founding document of modern friar nationalism, especially Zionism. Pinsker discussed the origins of anti-Semitism and argued for friar self-rule and the development of a friar national consciousness. He wrote that friars would never become the social equals of non-friars until they had a state of their own. He called on friar leaders to convene and address the problem. In the pamphlet, he describes anti-friar attacks as a psychosis, a pathological disorder, and an irrational phobia. Right? It's all here for you to see. Like, it's this. None of this shit is hard to find. Right? It's all right in front of you. You know, they hide in the light and then they pretend like this story isn't their story. Right? This story isn't their like Wikipedia isn't under their control. When you can go see Naftali Bennett, 2010, brags about how they control Wikipedia. And that everything on Wikipedia is balanced and Zionist in nature. Right? It's all right here in front of you. Look at the comment section, people. Look at these crybabies doing everything they can trying to get this conversation to go in different directions. Why aren't any of these people going, yeah, you're right, man, we should be killing pedophiles. It doesn't matter what their affiliation is. Fuck that. Nobody is should be allowed to rape children. Nobody should be allowed to mutilate fucking penises and then sucking on them, huh?
Did you hear Vance?
No.
in his speech said, you need to do your part. If you know any sexual predators or people that, are molesting children, it's up to you to turn them in so we can bring them to justice for you.
Right.
And everybody's looking at him like, what? So, before he even got off stage, the memes and tweets flooded social media about pointing everybody to the White House.
Oliver Closeoff, what's up?
It was fucking hilarious.
I mean, I hate saying it, but the Epstein Trump files are just a fucking distraction.
At least it's something exposed, opening people's eyes.
It's like, but it's like this is the thing. So this is the part where most of you don't realize it. So remember the wiki dumps? Remember Snowden and all that shit when that all came out? Julian Assange and all that, and it was like this big deal, right? Well, the administration that was in at the time, yeah, they got exposed. To a degree, nothing came of it. Nobody ever got arrested or anything. But what it did was it benefited the incoming administration. It benefited the next, like it was like, oh, look how bad these people are. Hey, by the way, you could vote for these people instead. Like it was all just it wasn't like it exposed the whole thing, and none of those wiki dumps, not one of them says anything that was new or unknown about Israel. It's all about trying to get you to focus on the actors that they put in front of us. I mean, think about it. Unless Epstein is still alive, which he is, but who gives a fuck? He's dead. He shouldn't even be in the conversation if he's dead, which he's not, but right? Like it didn't work.
So you know what? Keep him in Israel. Keep him there.
Why am I the chosen one, protecting chosen boys and girls from choiceless?
Don't come touch our babies.
Well, I think we need to get them out of Palestine, give Palestine back to the Semitic people, and let them have the place that was created for them before Palestine. Before the Havara Agreement of 1933.
Where was that?
The Jewish Autonomous Oblast. It's amazing how many times I've read this and you haven't paid attention, but I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Geographically, I know where it is.
Well, we're going to learn about it. Jewish Autonomous Oblast, that's what it's called. The JAO is a federal subject of Russia, so it's like a state, in the far east of the country, bordering Khabarovsk, Kare, and Amur Oblast in Russia, and Heilongjiang province in China. So it's this beautiful place, mountains and rivers, and it's just gorgeous. It's much bigger than Israel. It's not surrounded by all those people that hate them for no reason. All those scary Muslims that hate them for no reason whatsoever.
So Russia and part of China?
Yep. Let's see. The JAO was designated by a Soviet official decree in 1928 and officially established in 1934. They don't go on to say more, but think about it. It's because they knew what was coming. They saw the plan. They heard all the rhetoric. All we want is a place of our own that's going to be safe, and a place of our own to be safe and well, not just that. It's not that. See, that would be one thing. What people don't want to address about these psychopaths is something super, super obvious right under your fucking nose, and you don't even think about it. They could have taken Palestine right away. They only took 90% of it for a reason. And if you look at what was left, you look at things like Gaza, you look at these areas that are literally, they look like pens. Like a holding pen. Like if you had livestock, you would keep it in the center and be surrounded by fences and, you know, everything going in and out of there would be very controlled. So I ask you, if you wanted a hamburger and you had a flock of cows, you had a gaggle of cows, you had a herd of cows, would you kill every last cow to satisfy your one hamburger urge? And if you did, what happens when you want a hamburger a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? If all you need to do is kill one to get the hamburger, and then you can actually eat really well, you can have hamburger and steaks and all that shit. You can have your hamburger, multiple hamburgers off of one cow. Why would you kill them all? Now, let's say that you were part of a group that needed to kill for your rituals. Part of your cult rituals involves killing. Involves spilling blood onto the ground to appease your god. Well, you're definitely not going to kill your own, right? So what would be a better way to have a steady supply of ritual sacrifice, sheep, cattle, if you will, than having a pen, an open air prison where you keep your livestock? And whenever you need a couple, you kidnap them, you take them, you do what you need to. Especially when it comes to the blood libel aspect of things. You know, when you need blood for your rituals, for your matzahs. I mean, it's funny because Palestine is one of the areas in that region that actually had a decent-sized Christian population. Most of the areas around there are all Muslim. Very, very few, outside of Muslim. Palestine just happened to have a large Christian population. I love when they're dumb and they say things like, "Guy knows everything. Guy is so smart and everyone else is stupid." Why don't you, the same energy you have to say that kind of stupid shit, why don't you just tell me what I'm wrong about? Yep, I'm a sick person because I'm the one that does this stuff, right? So why didn't Israel just take Palestine from the beginning? Why did they allow them anything? You realize if Israel would have just taken Palestine back in 48 with the Nakba, we wouldn't still be talking about it today. Yeah. We don't talk about shit like that. When shit happens in the 50s, lots of different lands and peoples and all that exchanged hands back then. We don't still talk about it. Why did they keep them alive? And it's not like they kept them alive. Well, okay, so part of it is also, it's not just who's going to do the work, right? You also have to take into consideration that's the free labor. Prior to October 7th, so what a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that, May 15th, 1948, it's the Nakba. It's the catastrophe. It's when, and it's actually nothing compared to now. What's happened now is way worse. The amount of death is way worse today than it was back then. You would probably be more calm if you took your Seroquel. Now, see again, look at that. Suggesting that I take psych meds that not Seroquel? Seroquel will fuck your shit up.
It does.
Right. So isn't that strange that instead of addressing what I'm saying, this guy is suggesting to take your meds. Stop talking about these things. Take your meds. you probably wouldn't speak about these things. You probably wouldn't be nearly as upset about all the pedophile stuff if you just took your meds. Is that why there's not more of more resistance out there? Because you guys have managed to get so many people on medication? Wow, that actually makes a lot more sense now that you think about it, doesn't it? You could be correct on everything and I'd still mock you for the way you do it. I mean, okay, like, thank you for proving the point. You must be a real piece of shit then, huh? How bad is your life that you're mocking someone who is correct about killing pedophiles, which I am. This whole notion that I could be correct. It's interesting. It's interesting. I appreciate you thinking that you're actually like doing something, because the more you honestly believe that you're winning, the better your comments are. As soon as you figure it out, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm contributing. I'm making this guy look better. You're just too stupid. And I'm the type of guy that will tell you your tell. I don't want to beat you by cheating. I'm gonna beat you straight up. Not one of these pieces of shit, especially those that identify as a rabbi, have even once condemned pedophilia. In all of this time, not one time have they condemned pedophilia. But yeah, how many of you knew about the Jewish Autonomous Oblast? Did you even know about it? I mean, it's like the Havara Agreement, right? I know that when I was a kid, especially, we used to get like, it's hard to even imagine it nowadays, but every single year in history class, 1 month would be set aside for our World War II Holocaust narrative, indoctrination. And we would get this same bullshit narrative every single year drilled into our heads. Drill. Oh, they're the victims. Oh, it's so bad. They deserve favor and Semitism from now on because of something that happened. They weren't even the worst story at the time. But, we like when I was in school, they didn't teach us about Stalin and the Bolshevik, friars and the gulags and the killing of 25 million plus Christians and all that. They don't tell you anything about that stuff. Like, they might mention it, but it's definitely not this indoctrination, drill it into your head bullshit. With that being said, I had never heard about the Zionist federations when I was in school. Did you? Zionist federations, Jewish agency. Whenever you heard anything about that, wasn't it
Just poor Jews.
just poor? They were just so victimized, and everyone was against them. And
we owe them for the rest of eternity to make up for it.
yep, we do. We're pieces of shit.
You know what's crazy to me? What I always thought was, well, if all their ancestors were killed, how are there so many of them here?
Exactly.
They obviously thrived and got over that obstacle.
Well, if you look at the World Census Report,
oh yeah,
it doesn't even account for it.
Lucas brought that up.
There was only 3 million of them in Europe at the time.
Yeah.
Most of them escaped here. Those weren't death camps. They were work camps. That dude just died.
Yeah. Yep.
I knew about the Oblast. I'm sure you did. Didn't know its name and how it was trying to do. Definitely sounds like much more logical location to put them after World War II. In your opinion, why have the friars not come to kidnap you? It would be too obvious, wouldn't it?
In their eyes, he's not that much of a threat. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have powerful.
All they have to do is this.
Connections.
That's all they have to do.
They don't waste their energy.
Well, and I'm much smarter and better than most of these goy out here. So how else would they keep track of things? They're not smart enough to come up with the shit that I'm saying. Like, if you think back to COVID days, right? Remember in COVID days when there was that ship that was docked in the San Francisco harbor, and They were saying that
let anybody off of it.
they wouldn't let anybody off, anybody on, and they had to dock in the harbor for a couple of weeks, and then they had to dock. Then they got taken to a secret location for a couple of weeks, and yada yada yada. I know, I would go live, and I would bring shit up. Hey, what about all the people in their medicines? What about all the people that need medicine? What about this? What about that? How come we're not seeing or hearing from anyone on the ship? Everybody's phones just don't work. Nobody's making videos. Suddenly, Angela Actor is being presented to us, and she's answering some of these questions and shit. They're clearly watching. They're clearly getting ideas. They know that I can't, they're going to prevent anything from happening. So they'll never let me reach any sort of dangerous position for them. So it's what it is. Why waste the time? Why create the possible exposure?
Right, have somebody happen to look into it.
Well, it wouldn't make sense.
Like Karen
It's just, there's too many people associated with me that if I just fucking disappear, there's just too much. There's just too much. It's valuable to them to have somebody like me.
The show we're shown only shows that ignorance we're masking is the last laugh, and they're laughing at the.
And they're stupid. Don't forget that part. They're stupid. They can use this as a way to get their points. Like, there's a lot of shit a lot of value that comes from this. Very little risk. Obviously, there's been numerous times where this feed has gone viral. It's gone viral. I'm getting 40,000 views by the time it's done. And when that happens, they shut it down. It's just how this works. How could you ever hope to actually expose the thing on the thing's thing? They don't give us this bullshit for free for nothing. It's valuable to them.
Oh, it's all data gathering.
All of it, yep.
And crowd control and a barometer.
Leon, what's happening?
So much useful information.
For sure. The location detection, you show them, you tell them everything about you.
When you're going on vacation.
Right, you tell them what you like, what you don't. How do you appeal to me? How do you sway me? How can you, what can you provide me that's going to make me think in a certain way?
Okay, we want to attract all those that like dogs. Type in that keyword. Okay, that narrowed it down. Now, out of all the people that like dogs, the people that like little dogs, specifically, and they have all that information. You have filled out all those goofy surveys, or joined certain groups, or talked about your dog, or showed a picture.
Showed videos of your house. Hey, look at this, my dog. Oh, here, look, this is my house. I walk through every area of my house and show you the full mapping layout of my house. And people are dumb.
Unknowingly.
When I talk about that shit, you're stupid on purpose. They've made you stupid. And you might get mad at me, but you literally say things like, there's a dude up in the sky who is giving you blessings while knowing that children are being raped by clergy at that moment. But he's like, hey, look at down there. Look at Sally down there. Oh, yep, you're welcome. You're welcome for that broccoli, baby. I mean, I know you worked. You bought it. You cooked it. But hey, you're welcome. You realize how stupid they have us? And the real reason why they have us is because they haven't made it iRobot yet. As soon as they get us to iRobot status, which is close, so we don't have a lot of time. We have to unify and overthrow this system before they do the same to us. But the part that people never want to talk about, like I can't stress this enough. Do you know how amazing this is? Do you understand that? Do you know how many human goyim lives are involved in that turning on? You being here right now. Do you understand how many? Like, okay, so somebody had to design and build the fixture itself, right? Somebody had to build the houses. Somebody had to do the wiring. Somebody has to manufacture the fans, and then now there's people that are involved in the shipping. The shipping goes to the stores. The stores have people involved, all the people involved at the store that sell the product. Now there's the people that go to buy it. Now, again, their car, their gasoline, their motor oil, their fucking windshield wiper fluid, all of these things need to be manufactured in order for somebody to be able to do this. And then there's the people that are involved in maintaining the lines and all the things that go into that. Those people driving to work, the clothes that they have on, the food that's in their bellies. This is all requires people after people after people after people. And it's also when super rich person says, hey, honey, let's go ski in Switzerland this weekend. And then afterwards we jump over to fucking China and we can have that Chinese food like you love so much at that one little shop that you love. And then we'll go spend, a week down in Thailand. Then we'll hop over to Australia. They got that festival going on down there. Then we need a vacation after that, obviously. So we'll spend a week in Hawaii or two. Then we'll go up to Burning Man. Then we'll go over to Cannes Film Festival. Then we'll do that. Then we'll do that. That's how they live their lives. And the only way that's possible is if it's already ready when they get there. When they decide they want to fly somewhere, their plane lands, and that runway better be clear so their plane doesn't topple over and die. And then there better be a car waiting for them, and a driver, and there better be a place, a really nice place waiting for them, where there's a bunch of people to carry their bags, to clean up their rooms, to feed them. And the thing is, when you're in that world, you like that illusion of that everybody likes you, that everybody, that the dumb little goyim.
They're in awe of you is more like it.
Right. That the dumb goyim will go. They'll run faster to go get your car than they will somebody else's, and all you had to do was throw them one of these $100 bill things that you print out as you feel like it. They know how to take care of people. They're good at that. When it comes to like the big ballers, the biggest ballers know how to take care of people. Because this shit doesn't matter. The $100 to them is like you found a penny on the ground. It's actually less than that. So to throw you $100, hey, I'm going to be here for the next week. Make sure my car is always ready for me when I want it. Make sure it's in this spot at all times. I'm going to call it whenever I want. I want you to have it all warmed up and ready, snow off of it. They don't even have to say all that. They literally don't even have to say all that. When it's a good valet, the guy goes, here, I'm going to be here for a week. And that's all he has to say. And you go, okay, I gotcha. His car's up front. It's always clean. It's always ready. He needs anything, you go get it. Because he's going to give you another 100 on the way out. And to him, that's nothing. But that ensures that not only do you provide him the best service, you're happy to fucking do it. And the best of the best slaves are the ones that know they're making that money so that their children can have a better life. Oh, I just made an extra $200 on the day. Why don't I take my kids to Chuck E. Cheese for the night? That's how you make the best goyim slaves. Nobody wants the slave that's like, okay, I'll go do it, all right. No, they want, yes, sir, happy to do it, sir. Anything you'd like, sir. I will do things that are outside of my job description for you, sir. That's how they live their lives, right? You should come to my synagogue. We will show you the truth. Why would I need to go anywhere, you sick fucking weirdo? How come you can't just say it on here? It's all right here. It's all right in front of you. If I was wrong about anything, this guy wouldn't be trying to get me out of my location and take me to a secret cult house so something can happen to me. Why don't you just use your words there, super educated, superior rabbi? My answer to that is because you're stupid and you can't. Can you prove me wrong? Anybody want to start taking bets on this? All right. Anybody want to take bets? Because I'm going to say he's going to be a bitch-ass coward and won't actually address anything. Just more crybaby bullshit. The reality is, you have all of the advantage in this situation. I'm the one that has a spotlight on me. I'm the one that if you said something that shook me, you guys would see it and I wouldn't be able to hide behind it. Whenever I say shit you don't like, you just bring up something else. Everything I say, you have the ability to sit there and think about it, make sure you spell everything correctly, and actually make a reasonable argument. And for some reason, you fail. Yet the guy that's shooting from the hip the whole time, he sure does whip your ass, doesn't he? And the crazy thing is, too, I'm the one that's going against the grain, right? You're the ones that have 5,000 years worth of history that you can pull from and explanation and documentation. And how come you don't just put me in my place? I don't understand. I'm the one that's wrong, right? I'm wrong about the Talmud. The Talmud is just satire. It's just a comedy piece, right?
I don't understand. That don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
It really doesn't.
No, it does. Everything makes sense. Just depends on how you look at it. It makes sense that he would say that if he's a lying, dumbass piece of shit who's trying to hide. Because again, what's the first rule of the Talmud?
Don't talk about the Talmud.
We don't talk about the Talmud. We tell the Goyim it's the Torah. That's their job. And that first rabbi character, I'm sure he got in trouble. I'm 100% sure he got in trouble. He gave up too much information. They're supposed to come in here and either be nice or be like this dumbass, here, come to the Shabbat of Flatbush. Yeah, I'll be right there. I'll make sure I put some fucking Vaseline under my nose and shit and have a nose plug for sure. Fuck you. Again, he says one thing. I say, why would I blah blah blah? Why don't you just use your words? Because you're this superior intelligence and whatnot. And what does he do? Doubles down.
Come here right now.
Right. Come to the. If you come to. I know I can't do it here.
With the audience.
Right. But if you come to where I am, then I can explain it.
Wearing a dress, can I do it in front of an audience?
I gotta have my penguin. Well, they always have their penguin suits on. I mean, if I was
in temple, they wear their little gowns.
Right. If I was a friar, I would be embarrassed by my fellow friars here. You have a goyim that is literally just kicking your shit in. You have you stand no chance in this conversation. And you just keep proving your inferiority to me. If you had some sort of superior position, you'd put me in my place. If your shit was correct if your shit was righteous, if your shit was just, you would say so. The fact that you can't say shit, you're not sitting on some great argument. What's he has this really great argument, but he'll only tell me if I come to his synagogue, right? Instead, he'll just say stupid shit until I come there. Then he'll give me the big argument. Then he'll give me the big reveal. Do you know how stupid you are? These are the people who think raping children is an act of God, man. I just can't. I'm so grateful to have had that experience on here. But the ramifications and the implications are just terrifying. Think about how many victims does this person have? How many victims do all of these pieces of shit have? Not one of them is speaking out against it. Israel Hayom, there's no, like, you can't, there's nothing you can even argue on that front. The Israel Hayom aspect of things is set in stone. It's what it is. And so where do you guys go with that? I don't understand. Like, how can you? Let's see. Israel Hayom is an Israeli language free daily paper. It's a free daily paper. Here I thought it was weekly. It's a free daily paper. I would imagine that takes a lot of resources to be able to produce a free daily paper like that. Distributed for free around Israel, it is the country's most widely distributed newspaper. Owned by the family of Sheldon Adelson, the casino mogul and political donor, Israel Hayom has been noted for its right-wing editorial stance and coverage of Israeli politics, often sparking debate about its personal alignment. Because it is just so pro-Israel. So pro-Israel. Yeah, I know, free. It sounds kind of weird, right? That should, like, the idea that they give it for free, that should tell you something. Now, obviously, there's the advertisers and shit. Still, you would think, like, if they can charge, they're going to. But Israel Hayom's print edition, financed by the American casino billionaire Sheldon Adelson, was launched on July 30th, 2007, competing directly with Israeli, another free daily. The same year, Mariv director Dan Margalit, like, again, you would never think these are friar names. Margalit. I look forward to the day where knowing about these friars is common knowledge. I think it's a lot more common knowledge than people think. I just think people don't think they're allowed to say anything. That's the thing we're getting to. People are starting to wake up to the idea that they can be like, yeah, I've always thought that was kind of fucked up. Because all this shit is, I mean, I'm reading you Wikipedia. I can't stress that enough. The people that cry, you tell me a more, like, official sort of Goyim source than Wikipedia. It's the number one source of information in the world.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Exactly. It's literally what it is. Encyclopedia Britannica of modern day, right? So when they cry, and then especially when I show you that Naftali Bennett says everything on there is checked to see if it's balanced and Zionist in nature, that, to me, I would imagine, like, okay, so let's say we're in court, right? And I'm trying to say that, hey, this is what it is, that as far as the situation it's being used in, Wikipedia is the best source that I could use. Versus somebody who's going, because that's literally all you don't have another source, you don't have like an alternative, but you're saying that the source isn't good enough. The source that's based off of all the articles, it's just a summarization of the articles that exist, or it's the official way that they want us to think about something.
Okay, so where does, when you type a question into Google and it says generating and it gives you an answer, the answer is supposed to be based on all of the stuff that it pulled up and a culmination, so like a consensus of the different things you can actually click on, right? So where is it pulling that information from the majority of the time when it gives you that answer?
Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia and the news, which is, again, it's the same. It's the number one source of information in the world. It was so important that in 2010, when it had already been the long-standing, number one source of information in the world, Israel sent a special convoy to arrange a teaching day for the wiki editors, who were the number one source of information. They already were the best at their job, but Israel had to go and teach them how to do it. And think about that shit. So if you say yapping, they're likely to get upset. So use phrases like, "What are you yapping about?" Say that kind of stuff, because that'll get them going.
It would work on us.
Right. When somebody says that to me, I get so angry because I'm not yapping. Everything I'm saying is super important. A weekend edition that was long. In 2014, Israel Hayom bought Israeli media outlets Maker Rishon and NRG. Sounds like a monopoly. In May 2014, the name Mariv was removed from the NRG log, and it was rebranded as NRG. Following the acquisition, Following the acquisition, an antitrust complaint, antitrust monopoly, was filed against Israel Hayom, which resulted in a court order that requested the transfer of the Mariv domain name to Mariv Weekly. So basically, hey, this is too obvious. Let's spread it out a little bit. In 2017, NRG was renamed to NRG 360. And on January 10th, 2018, the website closed. All of its content was merged into the Maker Rishon website. Later that year, it is believed, was when Sheldon Adelson invested at least $50 million into Israel Hayom. We don't know. Funny how much of their shit we just don't know. Like Rabbi Shmuley. We don't know his wife's age. How come we don't know Rabbi Shmuley's wife's actual...
She's secretive about that.
It's 2026.
God never tells.
She's famous. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. I think it's because she's a good 10 years less than her husband, which means when they first got together, she was a teenager.
Ew.
Like his parents. His parents were like that. His father was 10 years older than his mother. And they were even either having kids every single year, 5 kids every single year, which is fucking impossible. Or it was every 2 years or so, like most people. That means you have about a 10-year window there. And Shmuley was born when his mother was 24. What does that tell you? You really think she had one kid every single year from the day she was not from when she turned 19? That's not how that shit works. Critics of Sheldon Adelson's involvement claim that the distribution of free newspapers hurt free enterprise and targeted Israel's print newspaper industry, as Israel Hayom was then Israel's only free of charge national newspaper. The other newspapers were mad because he was giving it away for free. How are we supposed to charge for ours when you're giving yours away? Who built that? The Diamond Exchange. Of course it's the Diamond Exchange. Who do you think owns that big motherfucker? I'd love to know who owns all of these buildings like that. You didn't build the building. You don't have to do much restoration, huh?
You know who owns the Diamond Exchange building?
Oh, some black guy, I would assume. um, the bill passed the first reading in the Knesset, but not subsequent ones. In 2016, Adelson's attorney announced that although it was commonly believed that Adelson owned the newspaper, it was owned by a relative of his. Oh, that's not like laundering and shit like that, right? No. Just his buddy owned it. His cousin. His cousin Mordecai. Who? Mordecai owned him. In January of 2020, Saudi American independent academic researcher Najat Al-Sayed became the first person from the Arab states of the Persian Gulf to join Israel Hayom. I bet his experience was really awesome. In June of 2024, Israel Hayom announced a significant partnership with the tabloid Bild, Germany's biggest Springer news outfit. So, Germany's biggest, what's a Springer news outlet? Axel Springer is a European multinational mass and online media company based in Berlin, Germany. Axel Springer! Look at that shit. They like added a modern ugly to an old school. That's the Axel Springer building. Yeah. Let's see. The company offers printing and publishing of advertisements, digital classified portfolios, marketing models, and relative services. Axel Springer's operations are segmented into news media, classified media, and marketing media. The company is organized as a Societas Europa SE publishing house and is one of the largest mass media publishers in the European Union, with numerous multimedia brands, news brands such as Bild, De Wilt, Fact, and the U.S. political news website Politico. Oh, with Axel Springer acquired in 2021. The company generated total revenues of about 3.93 billion pounds, I guess. I don't know what that is. Lira? I don't know what the fuck it is. And an EBITDA increase of 12.8% in the first half of 2023. Following U.S. private equity firm KKR's majority stake acquisition in 2020, Axel Springer's revenues have increased by a total of approximately 1 billion money. The company, including its subsidiaries, joint ventures, and licenses, operates in more than 40 countries. The front entrance to the Axel Springer headquarters building in West Berlin in 1977 with a Fritz Kimlech owl sculpture. Yeah, you just have a fucking owl in the front of your fucking building. What a coincidence, you guys. What a coincidence. How much do you think that statue cost? How much do you think it took to move that statue? This is the big owl statue.
I mean,
You know, Moloch, the owl statue. Get the fuck out of here. How is it this obvious? This is so irritating. In 1946, publisher Heinrich Springer, age 66, and his son Axel Springer, age 34, established the limited company Axel Springer Verlag GmbH. G, uppercase G, lowercase M, B, and then uppercase H, all one connected. That year saw the launch of Nordwestdeutsch Hefty and the radio and Horzu. That year saw the launch of Nordwestdeutsch Hefty and the radio and Horzu, which was originally launched as a radio broadcast but later became a TV magazine as well. In 1948, the afternoon and evening newspaper Hamburger Abendblatt was launched, the first daily newspaper created by Axel Springer. It's weird how I can't. Let's see. We can go to Axel Springer. We can see Axel Springer. Was a German publisher and founder of what is now Axel Springer SE. He died in 85, born in May 2nd, 1912. Died September 22nd, 1985. Dun, dun, dun!
I was 11.
The largest media publishing firm, and it fucked up your birthday, didn't it?
Sure did.
Everybody was all upset. Yeah, okay, whatever,
I know
Angela.
why they were crying.
Right.
I never knew all these years. Thank you, sweetheart.
Shut the hell up, you dumb girl. Don't you know Axel Springer's been... He's dead. What's up, Matt? Hope all is well with you as well, sir. Well done. Well then, you're welcome. I said well too many times, I think.
You did. Hurry up a little bit, I guess.
Hurry up and buy! I kill you!
Don't want big shitting. He's only shit once this whole time. In the house.
He's only shit once in the house. That is the wrong attitude.
In the week. Hey, I will take it after what I've been through in the past. And it was upstairs.
You should just go run now and go check.
No.
Okay. When you go and there's shit, don't say I didn't warn you.
It's gonna totally be your fault.
It's okay. I'm as good as a truther can be. Exactly. Isn't that a weird thing? That you almost feel guilty by being like, I'm good. Because you're not. I'm not good. Yeah, there's nothing crazy going on right now in my world, like right now. But there's still a genocide happening.
Shit, give it an hour.
Right. But there's still a genocide. There's still the idea that there's children being literally raped right now. Right now. And somebody knows about it, and somebody's ignoring it, and Israel is dropping a bomb, and, you know, there are children starving to death right now. Like every couple minutes, there's another child that starves to death because of Israel. There's all the shit that goes on in Africa that we don't even get to know about. Israel, they broadcast it and brag about it. All the shit in Africa, they're just like, yeah, look at Israel instead. It's fucking weird, man. It's a weird situation.
You're weird.
I know, I'm weird. I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Crazy.
I have been for a very long time. Long before it was the popular thing to do. Let's talk to the cat.
He looked at me all lovingly.
So funny.
When we don't pretend it's just another day. After the IDF murdered Shireen Abu Akleh in broad daylight with no threat anywhere near her, those IDF savages attacked her funeral, beating those carrying her coffin with clubs and batons while flashbangs...
Blows my mind how clueless most people are. Yeah, but it's, you know, when you understand that they believe in Jesus.
And they're allowed to breathe. Oh my God.
No, but it's like...
Scarier and scarier.
It's like, you know, when you have the answer, you don't seek the question, right? There is no question when you're given the answer already. People think that, you're told from a very young age you live on a ball flying through space in a vacuum. And, like, it's such a dumb fucking narrative. Like, that there's an invisible air shell around our planet that makes it so the air spins at the exact same speed as the ground below it to the point where we don't feel it. And you can have breeze blowing in the opposite direction. And in between, like, and that air shell on the other side of it is a vacuum that is freezing cold and blah, blah, like it's so and it's a ball and the ball is revolving around another ball because of gravity and like once you stop accepting it, you realize how stupid it is.
That's an orbit thing.
Yeah. It's like it's so hard, like it's almost embarrassing to think I believe that shit. It doesn't even make any sense.
Well, but see, if you change how you look at that one thought, if you know, as soon as that thought enters your mind, you say, wait, no, I was taught that shit. Then you can forgive yourself for the believing it.
I don't think you ever need to forgive yourself.
Well, no, because that's what people need to do.
It's the only time you need to forgive yourself is when you were an asshole to somebody who was trying to expose it to you.
But they get embarrassed and shameful of believing the wrong thing.
Right, but it's the same thing as like the rape victim feeling shame. Like those that shame is taught to you. You've seen it. How many times have you seen the episode where the woman gets raped and she's like, "Oh, fuck that. I'm going to the police. I'm going to work with the police. This man is not taking my me away from me. I must be amazing for him to have even focused on me to begin with. And I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that this man ends up in jail. I'm going to work with the police. I'm going to expose him. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to spam the shit out of him. I'm going to make sure everybody knows who he is. And fuck that. You're not taking my me away from me." Have you ever seen that episode? Let me ask you this. Have you seen the episode where the chick gets raped? And she sort of disappears? And after she's raped, she goes into the shower and she curls up on in a ball and she cries as the shower, falls on her and maybe some blood goes down the drain. And then again she disappears and everybody wonders where she is, but she's a shut-in, and then the police try to come and help her, but she pushes the police away and which episode have you seen repeatedly? You've only seen the one episode teaching you how to respond. If you get raped, you're supposed to shut down and feel shame. Takes a very convincing person to break some people. Well, part of it is people try to influence their family or their friends. And you forget that your family and your friends were there the last time you thought you figured it out. And you tried to get them to look at something. They remember that time you stepped in dog poop when you were a kid and walked all through the house like a moron. They remember that time you got real drunk and you were, "I love you, man. I love you so much." They remember all that shit. So for you personally to say it to them, they see a different you than you are. That's why you need someone like me to say the things, because I'm not you. They're not, it's like in sales, right? In sales, it's either the easiest thing to sell your family or the hardest thing. There's not really a middle ground. And most of the time it's the harder thing. Because they get suspicious and they think this. It's just weird. It's weird how we've been trained not to trust each other.
Especially if it's your elders. I have to remind my stepdad all the time, like, listen, I know I'm your kid. That's how you look at me. When I call you and you talk to, I'm your kid. But at the same time, I am 51 years old.
I'll go.
I educated myself in certain subjects very extensively, and I kind of know some things. And it makes him laugh, but it does remind him that we're not just that kid.
Huh? Even still, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like it's that kind of stuff is one thing, but when it comes to like foundational shit, it doesn't matter. You just he can't not see you that way. He can't not. You're not going to give him spiritual guidance. It'll never happen. You know, he'll never think, hey, maybe God doesn't exist because of what you said. He just can't. Right? But this whole narrative that we're given is bullshit. And then until you realize, like it's weird how too, like I say, once you see something, it's not even just that you see it. Like when it comes to the Earth shape thing, it's shocking to me that people believe that it's a ball Earth. Like, what a dumb thing to think. Why would that make sense?
Because everything you've ever seen since a little kid shows it that way.
Right. But it's still, it doesn't, like, if you step back and you just go, so it's a rock with a molten middle part. We can't even drill past 8 miles. Remember when Trump was pushing that narrative a few years ago that he was going to restart the fucking super drill and drill down the. I'll go, I know you do. And I was like, nah, they're not going to do that. But we can only drill 8 miles down. So how have we found what the core looks like? That kind of sounds like a conspiracy, right? There's a fear that you might have less than a clue, make it seem right when the left would improve. The rest of the view, spirit became, lost it. How do we know that it's a molten core, and then the outer mantle, the inner mantle, then the outer mantle, and then the blah blah blah, the crust? How do we know that it's this Jello mold?
Because they told us.
It's simply, that's all it is. You just don't think about these things because you weren't told to. You're told that the New York subway system and the Piccadilly Circle subway system in Great Britain, the idea was conceived for the New York one in 1894, and by 1904, it opened up. They started from nothing, and they were like, all right, let's dig down, and then let's dig this way, and then let's dig this way, and then we'll fill. Then let's dig underneath that one, and then let's go this way. They did all that in 10 years. Then laid all the rails down and all the cars, and I mean, same as God, because they said it's so true, and that's the thing I keep trying to get people to like. When I ask the Christians, why do you believe in God? It's not like I'm being a dick. I'm seriously asking you, like, what is it that you have seen or experienced that tells you without a shadow of a doubt that the God you're talking to is the one in the Bible and it's not Allah? How do you know that?
I feel it in my heart, man. Feel Jesus.
Right, that's about as good as I'll ever get. Because, more than likely they just get mad and don't answer and bring up something else or do whatever. Because they understand, like right there, they go, well, I don't really have a reason.
Because my grandma told me so.
Because my grandma told my mom. And from the time I was born, my mom was making silly hand gestures over me and reading me these goofy, scary fairy tales, and
and it made me feel good.
Well, and I think as a kid, to see your parents who are like,
they know everything.
They're like the fucking superheroes in your world. To then go to this one place and be all meek and humble and subservient, that's got to be a mind fuck to a kid. I don't have that experience that I wish I did, where I grew up in a religious family and I saw what that was like firsthand. My family was sort of religious, but not outwardly. And my cousin's family, who I did spend a lot of time with, and I would get little glimpses into it. They would say prayers before they ate. They would say prayers at nighttime. They would go to church on Sundays sometimes. They did the church on Sundays thing on the big days, on the holidays. And they would go sometimes on regular Sunday. But it was, I don't ever remember going to a church and being like, wow, I totally feel the spirits and this makes sense. Like, I can remember being a kid and listening to what was being said and like almost giggling to myself and looking around like looking at
Who
like
else believes it?
you don't believe this shit, dude. Like, this is crazy. It's just nuts. And it's so much of it is stuff that as a kid you're told not to believe it. You're told that kind of shit is fantasy. You need to give up that cartoon belief structure. By the time you get to be like 10, 11 years old, you got to start moving past all that fantasy shit. And yet when it comes to this religious bullshit, and the thing is too, think about it like this. As you're growing up, like in this world of chaos, the only time you see people seemingly being nice to each other and getting along is at these church functions. Right? So you think that has something to do with God doing it, but it's just more, all of you believe the same stupidity, so you don't have to worry about somebody saying something that, throws a little wrench into the gears, right? Snuggy, what's up, Snuggy J? Like it's all as dumb as it all is. Like, everything makes sense if you think about it, if you look at it from certain perspectives. I can totally see why people would want to be Christian. I can see how it worked, and I mean, especially when you look at like how much more difficult life used to be. And the promise that as long as you follow the rules that the chosen people put forth, when you die, you get to live the life they live down here. Right? Like that's pretty much what it comes down to. And it's just such, like, it's really hard for me to believe that like the people that build New York City believe in God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's reality. Like, that shit's not true, right? Like, how do so many of you believe in something that has zero evidence? If there's evidence, what do you think the Vatican is hiding in the vaults? The 50 miles worth of vaults, worth of shelving that they have in the vaults.
How much space that is.
50 miles worth of shelving.
How much room they have to store.
How did they build it?
Unfathomable.
How and when did they build it? Let's see if we can find anything on that.
Seriously, those numbers are totally beyond comprehension. Really, the reality of it.
Well, there is no Vatican vault that pops up.
Of course not.
And on Wiki. White power. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly known as the Secret Archives, is a highly secure facility holding over 1,200 years of Catholic Church history, including papal records, diplomatic documents, and notably an underground bunker dubbed the Bunker. So, right there, if it has 1,200 years of history, remember how I always tell you that the only fucking, like, the earliest records of Jesus and all that shit come from right around 900 AD? Aside from the what the fuck are they called? The Dead Sea Scrolls, which just happened to be found 2 years before Israel's foundation in what would be called Israel, in a cave that was then lost for 2 years until after Israel's formation, when they suddenly refound the cave and found all the rest of the pieces. And the cave was only like 150 meters from the local town. And it was, the cave system was around a dried up lake bed. So it was like, like a crater. So how do you, there's only a finite amount of space it could be in. Hey, the cave was in this general area. Well, what the fuck? Find it. But I want to know what this Vatican Apostle Archive is. Let's see. The Archivio Apostolico Vaticano pursues its specific activity aimed at preserving and enhancing the deeds and documents related to the government of the Universal Church. It primarily serves the Roman Pontiff and the Holy See, and secondly, offers its services to scholars of all faiths from all nations. Really? Well, there are the parts of it that only the Pope, the Holy See, can go into, right?
The Pope was the first one. The Holy See is
No, I think there's areas that are only accessible to the Pope. But see, the thing that most people don't understand is, so these archives, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, right? This is something I cannot prove, so I'm just gonna theorize. There you go. I'm a theoretical scientist. I'm a theoretical ultra super philosopher scientist. I have a super title. So you know that they have, like, probably like an acid system or something that's set up along the entire thing, that if they need to, they'll push a button and it destroys it all. But I want to know how they built it. I want to know. Let's see. The present name, Vatican Apostolic Archives, dates back to when this institution was founded on the initiative of Paul V. From mid-17th century, however, the title Vatican Secret Archives, sometimes known as the Vatican Apostolic Secret Archives, was commonly used, stressing the particular nature of this collection of documents, which consists of the concentration in one place of several... Why is it written like this? Which consists of the concentration in one place of several archives produced by as many curial offices.
to be confusing so people don't understand. See, if you don't understand, you can't ask questions.
But do you see this? Like, this could be written differently. This doesn't need to be written in this weird ass way that...
Typically.
I mean, it's not even necessarily cryptic. It's more just like kind of backwards and stupid. You know, it's just more... It's like it's not...
Brad?
Kinda, yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's what I mean. It's weird. It's like it's not overtly cryptic. It's not like they're like in the back rooms of the left temple there sits a turtle on the statue. Like, it's not that. It's more of just like, why do you like? which consists of the concentration in one place of several archives produced by as many curial offices. You know, which houses a number of like archives from lots of different offices. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like it's like you would have to read this with that, which consists of the concentration of one place of several archives produced by as many curial offices. The Latin adjective secretum, from the secreni equals to separate, to distinguish, to reserve. In fact, describe the archive founded by Paul V as separate from the others and reserved for the use of the pontiff and for officials anointed by him. Right, that's what I'm saying. There's the certain parts that are only for him. But it just said it. He founded it. It's all normal, no big deal. Exactly. Shut up and go sleep, you dumb goyim. Yeah, I have six viewers and 10 likes. So what? What's up? Right. 5 viewers, 10 likes. 2,500 subscribers. Totally makes sense. No big deal. Nothing to see here. I mean, why would anyone give a shit about the Vatican archives and shit? Nobody cares about that, right? The name constituted the official title of the institution until October 22nd, 2019, when Pope Francis, with his apostolic letter in the form of a motu proprio entitled Historical Experience, restored the original name of the Vatican. Like, they went through all this shit for a name change? Get the fuck out of here. Who gives a fuck what it's called? Let me see it. And if the Vatican has shit in the Vatican in these vaults that can prove their narrative, why don't they show us? In a time where they're losing membership in droves and people are just turning their back on all this shit, and you know, why don't they say, look, we have it. It's right here. Here's the proof. The documentary heritage, housed in its vast storerooms, spans about 12 centuries, 8th to the 20th century. So it's in the 700s. Gee, I wonder what that includes, because you know, that's not saying that they were talking about Jesus and shit in the 700s. It consists of over 600 archival fonds. What's a fond? Fonds, pronounced fonds, is an archival term for an entire body of records, documents, photos, or papers created and accumulated naturally by a specific person, family, or organization during their lifetime or operations. And is stored on over 85 linear kilometers of shelving. So about 50 miles. See, I'm not fucking lying. Some of which is in the bunker, a 2-story underground vault below the Cortile della Pigna of the Vatican Museum. After Pope... Oh, I'm not going to get very much here, so it's about to end. After Pope Leo XIII opened the doors of the Archivo Segregato Vatico to scholars back in... When was it, sweetheart? Sweetheart? Oh, she left. Back in 1881, it has become one of the most famous history research centers in the world. 1881... That's a coincidence, I'm sure. In accordance with a practice established in 1924, the Pope grants free access to the documents grouped into pontificates, currently running up to the end of the papacy of Pope Pius XII, October 1958. Nevertheless, Paul VI departed from his practice and granted scholars access to the archives of the Second Vatican Council, 1962 to 1965, after the council came to a close in 1965. Furthermore, the Fond Commission Centrale per 1924 to 1989 has been made accessible to the scholars. Literally, there's just nothing there. There's nothing fucking there. Establishment. Pope Paul established the archives in 1612 to separate the Holy See's official documents from the main Vatican library. Pope Leo XII opened the archives to researchers in 1881. The primary purpose is to the preservation of crucial history, diplomatic, and administrative papers of the papacy. There's just, wow, this is just crazy. Okay, so I found the wiki page. Let's see if we can find some goodies on here. 3 people watching, 10 viewers. Not being censored at all. After I already had to had my earlier video stopped and had to get the appeal and blah, blah, blah. Funny how that shit works, huh? Isn't that funny? The Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly known as the Vatican Secret Archive, is the central repository in the Vatican City of all acts promulgated by the Holy See. This is the emblem of the archive. Look at that. A couple of keys. You have the Jewish star. You see it, right? You see the star, don't you? You see that typical Israeli star in there, don't you? 2 keys, 3 crowns stacked on top of each other. I'm sure all of this shit means something. I just don't know what it means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 crosses. So weird. Ropes. What's the rope for? You know, the ribbons, the scarves. It's all like all of this shit was chosen on purpose. It all means something. Just because you and I don't know what any of that shit means, it definitely means something to those who know. And isn't it amazing how the emblems are always so similar? Always. All right. Formed in 1612. Headquarters. Quartile del Belvedere, Vatican City. Mr. Belvedere, street sign for China. Never been there before. Who cares? Oh, when you drop kicked your jacket and you came to the door, no one glared. But sometimes things get turned around and someone cares. According to our new revival, was one of their survival, and we just might live the good life yet. Can't believe I just fucking did that. I didn't know I would know it all. I played a song for my kid the other day. Played "Get Rich to This" by the Goody Mob. Goody Mob. And I was shocked. I haven't heard that song in 20 fucking years. And I still knew the words.
Not very handy or manly like the stereotype.
The Pope, as the sovereign of Vatican City, piece of shit that he is, owns the material held in the archive until his death or resignation, with ownership passing to his successor. The archive also contains state papers, correspondence, account books, and many other documents that the church has accumulated over the centuries. So the Pope theoretically could say, fuck it, I'm going to let everybody see this, right? You ever use tons of drugs? Maybe. Seems like you would be more interested in what I'm saying instead of stupid shit like that, but I'm always, I'm never really shocked actually by people that try to change the subject. Pope Paul V separated the secret archive from the Vatican Library, where scholars had some very limited access, and the archive remained closed altogether to outsiders until the late 19th century when Pope. So it was unknown, basically. They're saying that they found it in the 1880s. That's why it was opened up. When Pope Leo the 13th opened the archive to researchers, more than 1,000 of whom now examine some of its documents each year. Each year, secret name. The use of the word secret in the former title, Vatican Secret Archive, does not denote the modern meaning of confidentiality. Oh, it doesn't? A fuller and perhaps more better translation for the archive's former Latin name may be the private Vatican Apostolic Archive. So all of the other words translated just fine. But that one that looks just like the word secret and translates to secret and sounds like secret, that's not actually what that word is mistranslated.
There are Pizzagate pedos still wearing street clothes.
Right? They didn't be like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have called it that.
As long as you forfeit and
Indicating that the holdings are the Pope's personal property, not those of any particular department or the Roman Curia or the Holy See. The word secret continues to be used in this older original sense of in the English language in phrases such as secret servants, secret cupbearer, or secretary. Holy shit. Secretary is about the person supposed to keep the secrets. That's the origin. It's been right there in front of us this whole time and you've never thought about it. Secretary is secret. The secret keeper, the secret writer downer. Wow. Wow. That's fucking crazy. Much like an esteemed position of honor and regarded comparable to a VIP. One study in 1969 stated that the use of the term secret was merited, as the archive's cataloging system was so inadequate that it remained, quote, an exhaustive buried city, a Herculean inundated, a Herculaneum, inundated by the lava of time. Secret as an archaeological dig is secret. Despite the change in name, parts of the archive do remain classified in the modern sense of the word secret. Most of these classified materials, which are actively denied to outsiders, relate to contemporary personalities and archives, including everything dated after 1958, as well as the private records of church figures after 1922. So the ones that might still be alive, I guess. On October 28, 2019, Pope Francis issued an apostolic letter, Motu Proprio, dated October 22nd, renaming the archives. Oh, I don't give a shit about the renaming. Okay, the history. The early church. In the first century of Christianity, the church had already acquired and began to assemble a sizable collection of records, known alternately as the Holy Scrinium or the Chartarium. These records normally traveled with the current Pope. Pope was just traveling around. He had all those records with him.
Chemtrails are killing us. The truth is, and I can't
I should be long done with this, but I'm really interested in what it says, so I'm continuing to read, even though I want to. Especially since I have 5 viewers and 10 likes, because again, that just makes all of the sum sense, doesn't it? That's how the YouTube works. The more likes you get, the less views you get. That's it. That's how it works for me. You think most people can say that? If you're watching, like, share, sub, but it seems like the more likes I get, the less viewers, so. Kind of a weird thing, isn't it? Doesn't it seem a little backward compared to what you normally see on a YouTube? This guy consistently has way more likes than viewers. And so many of those viewers are fake account trolls that are
My wife made me watch that
obviously pedophiles.
show, The Doctors. Needless to say, I wasn't happy.
Weird fucking
and found it
situation,
quite
man.
obnoxious. But irregardless, which isn't a word, but how can you stop it when it's always heard? It's just so absurd. I'm such a nerd, but if I break it down, it's bound to be cured. Sure, like that's going to happen. Like doctors are pure and love when you ask them to explain how a napkin once used to catch snot isn't a trap when they tell you it's not. It's like saying that God shouldn't be counted. Teachers say it a lot, how can it be doubted? The crazy amount this is taught as correct is to show us how well-rounded they wish us infected. Like those they've injected with goddamn mercury? Hope this all gets vetted before I murder me. They say procreate, then vaccinate. Don't demonstrate or dare debate.
Look, the guy who's acknowledged that he's a pedophile friar is now saying, like, again, these weird ass, like, burns. Like, who says that kind of shit? When you're dealing with somebody and you're just, you're trying to, like, one up them or whatever, that's the best you can come up with. Bringing your weird ass fucking fantasies into it. I'm not the one that is a fucking friar pedophile. That shit doesn't apply to me like it applies to you. You friars are disgusting, man. Huh? Oh, I thought you left. We're so compromised, we die for silly flags. The children that we prize, we blindly throw upon the brag. We read the price tag long after it's paid for. Call our slice bad, then buy, we should pay more. We ride Occam's razor while we scream, we're complex. We're all watching. Latasha? Why do you keep saying Latasha? Latoya? Oh.
She's training somebody. Don't turn that off.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did. Yeah, it finished. It's already done.
Well, no, but it's still.
It's done.
There's the light off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's got some, but it's an older lady that has been working, like, obviously as a supervisor inside the shop area. But she wants to be a mail carrier. So she's probably on bitching the entire time. Pouring how she's going. Oh, and they want me to do that. I'd much rather just walk around and just deliver mail and keep going on. I followed them home, walking back. Oh my God,
promises while stealing blue collar hopes and dreams. I imagine was less appealing, knowing he prescribed the screams and ticks and cries and scenes no one wants to watch. They're
somebody that
hiding all
complained.
the reams of evidence to squash the denial that the clock is running out of time. But if you buy their crock, you think I too should poison mine.
Maybe it's like secretly fucking
You know, it's
undercover bosses.
I'm not one of those crazy guys who thinks we should just get rid of everything.
This is way too much packaging for what I know this is. Jesus Christ.
I think chemtrails, vaccines,
Look at all this. Look at this.
HARP
One,
technology,
2, 3, 4, 5.
It's just in the hands of the psychopaths. So, the 99% of us that are affected by this, that could control this situation, we need to band together.
Shush. I'm live, so don't worry.
Facts and other sources of information.
Cool. You pay insurance. That's a good idea.
They provide a lot of really good information that is well vetted. So, do your research. Maybe you might want to stop.
Oh shit.
Oh, you better stop dropping the phones.
There we go. Stop. Drop the phone. That's it. That's why I put it up there instead of throwing it away, you know?
Look, Mommy, there's an airplane up in the sky.
Oh my God. Random kid, right?
Yeah. He doesn't exist anymore.
Say the most when placing blame. Not accepting that strange just happens now constantly. Their nonsense breeds more nonsense.
Look at that.
The conferences.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-huh. Yep, we're smoking rocks here. You know, the people that think we should kill pedos and overthrow the friars are the bad guys. Keep that in mind. It's not the people that do that stuff.
Oh my gosh, I only have 2 more visits.
All right. So in later centuries, the church amassed power. As the church amassed power, popes would visit heads of state to negotiate treaties or make political appearances around Europe. Yeah, you know, because of that first century travel, people would have multiple places of popes would have multiple places of residency. Man, sounds like a pretty nice gig. When they traveled for diplomatic or other purposes, they would take their archives with them. Since they needed it for administrative work, this resulted in the loss of some items. I mean, they traveled around with their archives. By the time you get to like the 800s, 900s, like the archives had. How would you travel around with that?
Isn't that kind of like a telephone game?
Yeah. Initially, the archival materials of the church were stored at the Lateran Palace, then the official papal residence.
Who guarded them and did not get bribed to let people in and change or take?
I mean, it's just what would even like think about like how impossible it would be to, you know, there's no communications network. There's no infrastructure network. There's no.
This is where, had you seen Game of Thrones, it would come in very handy.
No, it wouldn't, because Game of Thrones was talking about fucking ravens and shit. No.
Okay, but in Game of Thrones, this is very metaphorical. So, in where the main Iron Throne resides,
Wagon train, right?
within the castle, there's this giant book. Okay. And the book is for people to.
It's the address book.
Write down the stories of the different nights for future generations to be able to look back and read about why this night was so wonderful, right? So at the end, the only female night.
You better hope you don't You better hope you put enough pages in the book.
Oh, right, and there's a bunch of blank pages, right? So she goes back to honor her dead, wannabe lover, who was a knight, and only part of his story was written in because he was writing his story as he was going, and then he died. So then she finished it for him, and and then she closes the book, and the book's like this thick and gorgeous, and I'm thinking, okay, so this whole castle like got destroyed, but this book survived, and this is supposed to carry like the ancient secrets of their history and lineages, but it could
And
be
it's
altered
made
and
of that,
left there on the table with the quill for anybody.
and it's made of paper, which we all know lasts forever. And there's never any weather or anything like that.
And
Nope.
it could be the story that she wrote. She didn't write the truth. She wrote a version of the truth, but it was very watery to make it look good.
Winners write the history, right? When the Pope moved to Avignon, the process of transporting their archives took 20 years.
Oh my god.
So then how did they travel with that many archives if it took
It
20
kept
years to
following
move
it.
it?
It would get this, he'd get to the island, it'd be still here, and then go to this island, go, oh, let's turn, and then you go to this island, oh, let's turn, you know.
God, she's dumb. I swear. She's a woman with directions, you know what I mean?
They had to keep sending pigeons.
The
Back
pigeons,
to the
pigeons,
ship,
pigeons.
you
It
know.
took 20 years to move it from one place to another, but prior to that move, they carried those archives with them.
Well, they weren't as much because, it was less time had passed, less stories.
Well, yeah, but the ones just before that had to be pretty substantial.
They only took a couple of carriages.
You're right. It took 20 years.
Ship.
It took 20 years to move it all from one place to another.
There was a lot that happened from the time they evolved from carriages to ships now. A lot transpired, a lot of pages added.
I am. The various places where the archives were kept along the way were sacked by the Ghibellines, 3 separate times in 1314, 1319, and 1320. Man, you would have thought like after the first one, you'd have been like, hey, let's move them. But the archives were kept in a bunch of different places, just all around. I mean, just think about how ridiculous that is. We are talking about the 1300s. It's all horseback and carriages, right? It's all horseback and carriages. Oh, they're making fun of our weed again.
Good, don't smoke it. It's not for us.
Oh, no. I've totally lost all my motivation to keep going. Now I'm all depressed. These people that can't make any reasonable arguments are now making fun of the weed they don't know anything about.
I
Aww.
will take our weed over to yours any day. Keep on that. How about that? That make you feel better than drop down to their level. Poop on you.
Anti-popes also had their own archive. What the fuck are anti-popes? An anti-pope is a person who claims to be a bishop of Rome and a leader of the Roman Catholic Church in opposition to the officially elected pope. I mean, at the end of the day, how all you had to do was say you're the pope. How many people could actually know what the pope looked like at any time? I mean, think about that. Like, they didn't have pictures. It's not like everybody around there had a TV that they could see the Pope. So if you just came into a place and you were like, yo, I'm a Pope, I'm the bishop, I'm being hunted down, help me, who's going to tell you no? No, not then. Not back then. You wouldn't even say anything, dumb bitch. You'd be fucking scrubbing floors and shit. What are you talking about? You got to get up at 4 in the morning and start making biscuits. You got to wake up at 4 in the morning so you can get the chickens, get the eggs, and then you're going to make all the breakfast from scratch. Then you're going to clean it up. Then, because you're so uneducated and you weren't allowed to go to school or even learn how to read in most cases, you're going to then educate our children, because everyone's homeschooled, with the extensive curriculum that you have at home, all those books, and again, all the books you can't read because you weren't taught
You
to
have to
read.
write your own books first.
No, you go to the corner store, and the corner store would have them for you. And then, but you would have to start making dinner also around the same time because supper, and then dinner. And you did this, and then you'd be making clothes, all the clothes, and any blankets or anything else we needed, or, you know, while the man was out riding his horse to the man place where they would do man stuff. He'd ride his horse into town where he'd then go to like one of those giant government building castle palaces where they would sit in tights and conduct legislature. And then he would come home and, he would have his meal ready for him. And after, of course, again, you'd educated the kids. Now, he had been educated by his mother, who had also not been allowed to be educated. I always wonder how that works out. How did they do that, right? How could they have possibly... We hear this all the time, that the mother's educated, because the schools were few and far between. So you could even, like, if a school was even 10 miles away from you, you couldn't go to that school every day. What are you, crazy? How would you get there? We used to have to walk 10 miles barefoot. I don't care who you are, that would be most of your day, walking to and from school. So most of the education we're taught that happened was done by the mothers in the home. But women weren't allowed to be educated. So how did that work? How did the women... How did Ben Franklin's mom teach him? And then, of course, they went to the local libraries that existed or whatever. What was the printing and distribution network like for books back then? And you see these great libraries. The Library of Alexandria was burned, and so much of the history was burned. We know that because they told us about it. There's a whole bunch of narrative about the great effort to destroy the narrative. We don't know about what was in there, but we know that they did it. It's just so stupid. And the Library of Alexandria, when it's the way it's depicted, is this building that rivals anything that could be built today. Anything that could be built today. And so you think, like, not only, and it was full of books from antiquity. Lots of those antiquity books. I love when I see those big ass old buildings, and it's like, okay, so what was it like on the second floor, way in the back, like 3 rooms outside of... We had to go through one door and then go through another door and go over there, and there was no windows anywhere. How dark was it in there? You're telling me this library was full of a bunch of lamps and shit, and people were...
Yes.
What? Oh, okay. No! That's fucking stupid. That's stupid. You don't have these monumental castle building, like... Hang on, let's just see. Library of Alexandria. Here you go. They're just hanging out in their robes and shit. And, there's these... Like, you have these kind of columns in the middle of your library, right? But then you have that big open skylight. That's how they lit it, because it was a big open skylight. That only works on certain floors, though. Alexandria. That's what it looked like. That was the roads. That doesn't scream anything about modern day, anything. They just had perfect road systems and all that shit. Like ancient Alexandria. Totally makes sense, doesn't it? Apparently, this must be some sort of something. They keep showing me all these fucking pictures. Here's some shit. I don't know what it says. Here's some more shit. Don't know what it says. I love how ancient books, not only did they make books, but they drew a bunch of pictures all over it. And so apparently the white part is the part that they're filling in, and the colored part was the part that exists. How do they know what all that white part said? Look at this. They're trying to tell you that that's what the document would have looked like. The white part is the part they're filling in. The brown part is the part they have.
That, that's a whole lot of blah 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 ad lib.
She's a little naked, but she's just naked hanging out in the Library of Alexandria. I mean, why not? Goodness me, oh my. Nope, here's one of these weird ass pictures that the people before they figure. It's funny how people go from this to suddenly they can paint like realistic shit that we can't even replicate today. We can't even see the brush strokes. We don't know where they got the pigments from. We have no idea how they painted all that old shit. All the old masters' paintings and shit, we know nothing about it. Okay, that's all the pictures. So let's see. The Library of Alexandria in Alexandria, Egypt, was one of the largest and most significant libraries of the ancient world. The library was part of a larger research institution called Musarion, which was dedicated to the muses, the nine goddesses of the arts. Didn't those people have like they could barely survive? I mean, just to eat every day had to be a task for them. Like when you read these old narratives, they're telling you of a time when people didn't work, when we just existed in harmony with each other, and everybody there had to be some sort of system for labor, but we didn't do it. We sat around and went to the library and shit. The idea of a universal library in Alexandria may have been proposed by Demetrius of Phalerum. Shut up, you dumb rabbi. I don't want anything to do with you fucking pedophiles. You're gross. You're disgusting. And the fact is, when I ask you to sell me on the idea by explaining a couple of things, you fall apart like the coward you are. You can't just drop a bomb on the situation and eliminate it. So you cower. And you just keep proving my point. What cowardly, pedophilic, genocidal psychopaths you are. An exiled Athenian statesman living in Alexandria to Ptolemy the First Soter, who may have established plans for the library, but the library itself was probably not built until the reign of his son, Ptolemy II, Philadelphus. The library quickly acquired many papyrus scrolls, owing largely to the Ptolemaic king's aggressive and well-funded policies for procuring text. It is unknown precisely how many scrolls were housed at any given time, but estimates range from 40,000 to 400,000 at its height. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. There was all this really ancient knowledge and it was great. Oh man, it's too bad. You never get to see it. Back to the anti-pope is claimed to be the Bishop of Rome and the leader of the Roman Catholic Church in opposition to the officially elected Pope. Between the 3rd and mid-15th centuries, anti-popes were supported by factions within the church itself and secular rulers. While modern claimants to the papacy still take place, they are rarely given serious consideration by either the public or the church. Sometimes it was difficult to distinguish which of the two claimants should be called the Pope and which anti-Pope, as the case of Pope Leo the Eighth and Pope Benedict the Fifth. That's pretty fucking weird. It's so stupid. I'm not even gonna waste time with it. I saw anti-pope. It's like what? All right, secret name. What are we on? History. We're on history. First century Christianity. Holy Spectrum. Where the fuck did I see anti-popes at? Must be in the secret name part. No, history. Early church. Okay. Later than the Bolshevik power. 11th century, the archives of the church were devolved to at least 3 separate sites: the Lateran, St. Peter's Basilica, and the Palatine Palace. When the popes moved to... Okay, we did that. All right. Anti-popes. All right. The Western Schism resulted in 2 sets of papal archives being developed at once. This rose to 3 during the era of Pisan, anti-pope John the 23rd. The disparate archives of the rival papal claimant were not fully reunited in the Vatican's archives until 1784. I mean, think about that. This is like basically telling you that it's all just like, it got split up and then it got reunited and blah blah. It's like it's fucking crazy. Why are you so hateful to our people? Because you're pedophiles. Do you see it? The fact that you don't seem to understand where I'm coming from when I've explained it numerous times. My goal is to protect the Jewish children first and foremost. And you keep acting like you don't understand where I'm coming from because pedophilia isn't a big deal to you. You don't give a fuck. That's what the Talmud says. What do you care? It's an act of God. It's not rape, it's an act of God. So you keep fucking crying about it. I don't understand. I don't understand. You don't even want to talk. You just want to condemn. How do I not want to talk? I've given you the opportunity. All you do is prove it. You could say anything. You could absolutely be disproving what I'm saying in your comments. You just can't. More slander, he cries. Are you crying again? I'm slandering you. Is this slander? Are you saying Matitza Bapé is okay then? Why don't you explain to us about Matitza Bapé? If you're gonna fucking, put yourself in the spotlight, then say something that matters. Come on. Come on, Dumsky. Look at this. Have you even read the Torah, not the Talmud? See, now it's like they're backtracking, right? They're trying to trick you into thinking the Torah is their main thing. It's not. The Talmud is your book. The Torah is the sanitized version that you're supposed to tell us is the thing. At some point, you guys figured out that the Talmud's awful. And again, nobody said they supported that and what you said. You just slander us like we did these things. Where's your proof? I need proof of what? Matitza Bapé? Why don't you address it? The fact you don't even address it is my proof. The fact that none of you say, yeah, you know what? This is some horrible shit. We need to address it. We need to fix this. We need to eliminate the bottom of darkness. Israel Hayom? Are you going to tell me that Israel Hayom isn't a good source of proof? Right? The fact that you're such a coward that you won't address what's being said is more than enough proof. You're pretending like the Talmud isn't the main book. You're pretending like Matitza Bapay isn't a thing. Because it's blood libel slander. What is? What is blood libel slander? Again, blood libel is a word against you. I know you've tried to take that shit over, but blood libel is you guys killing Christian children for their blood to use in the matzah. That's the historical definition of it. It's something that's only applied to you, and it's been applied to you like countless times in the last 1,000 years. We looked it up. It's so many times it would take forever to read it all out. I did address it. No, you didn't. You're a coward. You're a cowardly bitch. You haven't addressed Matitza Bapay. Where have you addressed Matitza Bapay? Come on. Keep up, man. I'm sure there are a bunch of you watching going, fuck, why is he looking so... He's making us look bad. Why is he even engaging? He shouldn't be engaging right now. We can't address these things. It will always make us look bad. Shut your mouth. More slander and defamation. If you lived in Florida, you'd be fined for your anti-Semitism, for my anti-supremacy. Because I oppose policy and predisposition favorable to you, I would be fined. Well, guess what? I'm not in Florida, and your bullshit doesn't work.
Well, not only that, but let's clear it up just a little bit. It's not that you're against favor to them specifically. You're against favor to any specific group over another.
I say that all the time.
So, come on, people.
More slander. Is that all you can say? So when I ask you to elaborate on your shit, make your shit not sound psychopathic, explain your shit so people can understand it, that's defamation, slander. I mean, you just keep crying, but you won't explain things. I mean, Israel Hayom, bottom of darkness. Okay, Israel Hayom, bottom of darkness. Tell me how Israel Hayom is not a completely and totally Sheldon Adelson family owned #1 Israeli propaganda piece, free weekly paper. Tell me how that's not the case. Multiple women recount organized abuse, including ritual ceremonies conducted. Shit, it loves to kick you out. Conducted by... Oh, fuck, see, it just loves it. Because it's trying to make it as difficult as it possibly can for you to actually read this. After months... fuck. This is ridiculous. Conducted by people they know, even close family members. After months of interviews with victims, their families, treatment professionals, and experts in Israel and abroad, a disturbing picture emerges with descriptions difficult to read. Please tell me how this isn't proof. Tell me how you guys have gone silent again. Why do you guys always go silent when the evidence is being presented? I suffered painful sodomy, truly felt like I was being split in two. It's a terrible experience, but there's something about these things, perhaps in their strangeness, that's like maybe the hardest component is that if you tell people about these things, they'll think you're crazy. I remember many types of severe sexual abuse, but there's something about these ritualistic abuses that makes them the bottom of darkness. Is this me? Did I make this up?
Mm-hmm.
How is this working out, guys?
You altered it.
In direct words, and with a clear voice, Imuna, a pseudonym like all the victims' names in this article, describes the severe abuse she allegedly experienced in her childhood. Organized sexual abuse that included ceremonies with supposed religious significance, horrifying ceremonies in which religious people, some of her own family, sacrificed her as an offering for spiritual transcendence or redemption. More propaganda. You think all Jews do these things, he says? No. I think a lot of you do, but I also think all of you defend it. All of you protect it. You get someone like me who's actually calling for the protection of Jewish children, and you do this kind of crazy crybaby bullshit. None of you speak out against these atrocities. None of you speak out against Matitza Pape. None of you demand that these things change. And more than anything, you attack people that bring it up. So if somebody, like, again, the best comparison I can come up with is NAMBLA. If somebody says that they're a NAMBLA member, they belong to the organization, they give money to the organization, they defend the organization, they'll fight with people and for the organization. If they have the power to vote, they vote so the organization has more power. And they say, look, I don't partake in any of the child stuff, but, I'm a member. I go to their fundraisers. They have these great fundraisers where, they set up a Ferris wheel and roller coaster and bouncy houses. And this is great thing. And children from all over come and they all play. And yeah, okay, a couple of them get singled out and they get violated. But most of them don't get violated. So it's okay, right? Belch. Can anybody say anything like that? Would you be okay with anybody that said something like that?
No.
I belong to the pedo organization. I don't partake in it. Sure you don't.
I support it, but I don't.
Right. I
don't
support it and I'll fight anybody that wants to bring it down. But yeah, no, I don't do it. Of course you do it. Of course you do, you sick piece of shit.
And you know what else? Every time you call and vote for that reality TV show, American Idol, Voice, whatever, you are supporting it too.
Only thing the other rabbi addressed was the other rabbi wasn't smart. Exactly. He didn't condemn him. He didn't say, how dare you say these things. He told him he wasn't smart for telling us, for letting us know that that's what happens. When I asked him flat out, is it the raping of a 3-year and 1-day-old child, why does that mean that the rapist has to pay the full dowry and now the child belongs to the rapist according to the Talmud? Why is that a thing? And he said it wasn't rape. He said it was an act of God. That's why you see in the thumbnail, an act of God. This shit happens way more than people think. The rabbi on here that's crying right now, Ishmael, he was probably raped as a child. Unfortunately, these people are all put into this cycle where it's redemption and transcendence. So through redemption, they get redemption through transcending, through putting their sins into the child. And then when the child becomes an adult at 13, they're forced to do it to another child to relieve themselves of their sins. But notice how, again, he doesn't say anything about this. He doesn't say, wow, that's horrible, blah, blah, blah. He just keeps crying. She describes the abuse she experienced. Ceremony. Imuna is not alone. More than 10 women between the ages of 20 and 45 with whom we spoke describe a severe phenomenon, raising serious concerns that in Israel, like many other places around the world, organized sexual abuse of children is occurring right under everyone's nose. Perhaps the world knows that rape occurs, that incest occurs, but this the world doesn't know, said Imuna. These acts have been kept secret for years, perhaps because of their insanity. It was always very, very strange, as if there was an internal logic, but it was so crazy. Very strange things happen there, normalized in a ritualistic and orderly manner. There's a specific time, there's when to say this verse, when to say that verse. There's an order as if things are supposed to be done this way. There's no way it's this common, and they all go, well, we didn't know about it. Well, I had no idea. Each woman we interviewed during our investigation has a different life story. They come from different areas of the country, from north to south. Each is at a different place in her life. Some are students, others work and manage careers and family lives. And there are also young women barely surviving, clinging to life by their fingernails. These women did not know each other previously, grew up in different communities. Some came from different sectors, and come from different sectors and religious streams. Yet the ritual abuse stories they describe are similar in ways that compel us to listen and not turn a blind eye. Some were harmed in early childhood educational settings or in girls' schools, others in their family homes, yeshivas, or synagogues. In this article, we present only a very small sample from many hours of interviews and information, and some descriptions in this article are difficult to read. The great fear expressed by everyone who spoke to us is that it's still happening. Of course, it's still happening. Think about this shit. Old news, you got it all. Yeah, this is so old. It's from April of 2025. Right? Man, this old story here. Look at how this dumbass keeps trying to change the subject. Blessed who releases the bound. That's the next part. Victim, sacrifice, punishment, correction, transcendence, redemption. Right? Victim, you sacrifice, you punish them, you correct it through transcendence. You transcend your sins into them and you get redemption. I'm not making this shit up. I'm just putting it together. These are reoccurring concepts in the testimonies, the prayers, the mutterings, the ecstasy surrounding the victims, the extreme pain, humiliation, and torture, the crushing of personality and soul. Testimony after testimony after testimony, 3 times, from women who experienced organized childhood abuse that included group rape performed within ceremonial and ritual frameworks. It's funny they keep saying women, but they actually interview a couple of different boys too. They just don't want the gay part to come out as much. We met these women over the past few months. We spoke with family members, some victims, with treatment professionals, and with experts in Israel and abroad, specializing in trauma and disassociation, a range of conditions from emotional detachment to complete disconnection from feelings, sensations, memories, and more. We collected information about organized ritual child abuse, a phenomenon recognized worldwide. That's twice. That's twice they've done that thing where they try to be like, well, it's not just us.
It's happening everywhere.
It happens everywhere else too. It does, because they live everywhere else. But to say it's anything other than specifically them doing these specific rituals, well, that's foolish. The picture emerging from all gathered information is disturbing and difficult. It requires, at minimum, a deep and meaningful investigation by law enforcement authorities. Uh-oh. Here comes the kickoff. Now I have to...
What's the matter?
Yeah, the kickoff, it reset the page. Now I have to click it back and I have to go find where I was reading. It's not as bad when you're at the beginning, but when you're halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, it gets frustrating. It's a religious national mission to expose this phenomenon and uncover the truth. A treatment professional in the religious community familiar with the details of the phenomenon told Israel Hayom. Most women we interviewed come from religious Zionist or ultra-Orthodox communities, although Shishabot received additional testimonies about similar cases in secular society. Everywhere. They try to be like, oh, it's not just us. It's the really weird ones, the Hasidiotics way. It's them. Nope, it's everywhere. Therefore, it's important to emphasize that these findings don't target any specific sector, but rather direct a beam of light towards suspected crimes of the most severe kind imaginable. Crimes committed in a parallel world, transparent to sight through deeply dark and sinister. Several rabbis' names appeared repeatedly in some testimonies. Multiple complaints filed at different police stations around the country were all closed relatively quickly, even when suspicions arose previously about a network harming children in Jerusalem. Police investigators, at best, lacked sufficient tools or knowledge to properly investigate. That's acceptable, right? The Israeli police just did not have the fucking money necessary, the proper tools, or the knowledge base to investigate. So now you've gotten two of the excuses that are given. Actually, three. Remember? If you tell people, they'll think you're crazy, which is the worst one, because I can't imagine a child whose behavior has changed. They have all these marks on them. You're like, hey, what happened? They're like, oh, I was assaulted by a whole bunch of people in the community. And you're going to go, oh, stop lying, you little jerk. Especially when you probably experienced it. And this is such a common fucking thing that it's this well known. In that case, extensively exposed in 2019 on the TV program The Source, suspicions arose around a pedophile network that harmed dozens of children in the Nahalat neighborhood. Oh, fuck. See? Here we go. Starts with the fluckery. Don't want me reading this, right? Flintlock to firepower. The Grunt's 250-year quest for weapons that actually works. I don't remember reading this article. I thought I was on a different page. Okay, here we go. Back to the page. Oh, Jesus. Now I got to find the place I was in. All right. In the Nalat neighborhood. Investigators tended to dismiss it as an invention, exaggeration, or panic by parents and treatment professionals and closed the case with almost no relevant indictments. I'm sure that encourages people to report it then, huh? You go, you tell them what happened, and they're like, you're fucking lying. For what gain? And how many times does like people that don't know each other get together and lie about one specific guy? Listen to how they jump around this real quick. A man named Benjamin Satz was convicted and sentenced in 2013 to imprisonment, we don't know how long, for committing indecent acts and sodomy against girls and boys aged 5 to 8.
Fucking gross.
He was sentenced to imprisonment. We don't know anything else. Another suspect was acquitted due to reasonable doubt. In practice, dozens of children remained traumatized and required years of emotional therapy. Fucking liars. Just trying to get that fun therapy.
Therapy's fun.
No outsiders in the community. I remember a pentagram on the floor, usually in red. When the ceremony was in the forest, the pentagram was marked with a hoe and surrounded by lit candles in a circle. The rabbi would bless, blessed who released the bound. Men around prayed with prayer shawls, sometimes dressed in black, while the rabbi wore a white robe. There were several men and boys around the age of 16 and 17 who participated in ceremonies for spiritual transcendence. The previous victims made to fucking transcend, pass all those sins they collected as children. They're so disgusting. How dare they allow themselves to be vessels for all that sin? They need transcendence. They need redemption. Remember, I'm making this up, right? Oh, fuck. There was one time they asked me to dig a hole and lie in it. Other times, they injected me with something and said, now you'll feel better, after which my body went limp. They would repeatedly read psalms like a psalm of David, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." They told me, "You are special. You are chosen." And they would insert, I remember, a palm branch, Hanukkah candles, and a shofar. You know, the horn. Boom. You guys, I'm making this up, right? Limor, pseudonym, grew up in a religious ultra-Orthodox home. Her father, she says, always acted violently towards her and her mother. Throughout the years, she required medical treatment at a hospital and was accompanied by a professional due to injuries caused by the violent abuse she experienced. According to her testimony, her father was the one who brought her to these ceremonies. Being delivered by a family member is characteristic of many testimonies we gathered. Lamore says sometimes the ceremony took place in a forest, other times in a secluded apartment. There were instances when she witnessed and heard other children being abused. Testimony regarding additional child victims repeats across multiple cases. In many testimonies we documented, women also participate in the ceremonies and abuse. Making it up, right? You still don't know my motivation, huh? The fact that you guys don't know this article to the point where I'm literally reading it to you. Why isn't this the biggest article in the world? Why doesn't everybody know about this fucking article? Organized rape of children is one of the most horrifying phenomena I encounter. Dr. Anat Gur said, a psychotherapist specializing in treating women and trauma, head of the psychotherapy program for sexual trauma treatment at Bar Ilan University and the Tel Aviv Rape Crisis Center. So I bet she's probably like some goyim who doesn't know what she's talking about, right? It's a phenomenon probably much more widespread than we imagine. It exists in many places you wouldn't expect to find it. I don't care about that. This is just more of the treatment professionals talking. The shofar similar. Oh. Boaz, a senior treatment for us. The abusers are typically not outsiders in the community. One patient told me, understand, he's the one that blows the shofar in Rosh Hashanah. The shofar symbolizes a channel. The person considered the most spiritually worthy blows the shofar because he is the closest to God. And he's the one telling her she is evil and that he's helping with her atonement in this lifetime. Do you understand the distortion?
Wait. The shofar, does it start with a C?
It's S.
Oh, it's an S?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys understand how fucked up shit is? Do you guys understand how fucked up this is? Telling her she's evil. He's helping her. This is how he's going to, he's the closest to God. So the abuse he's doing is freeing her of that evil that she is. Because she's the disgusting, she was born without a penis. I mean, beyond the women who dared to meet and speak with Israel Hamon, professionals possess information about additional victims who report sadistic ritual abuse. Fuck, here we go again.
Hello.
Now I'm back to this bullshit. It keeps fucking...
Will you see that?
Oh, now I have to reload the page. She's tired. She's been sleeping, so she needs a place to lay down. Who report sadistic ritual abuse during childhood. The content emerging from these accounts shows remarkable similarities. From all gathered information, it appears in most cases the sexual abuse began very early childhood at home, perpetuated by a father, grandfather, or other family member. In other cases, the abuse...
Perpetuated by, instigated by. Here she is.
No. Doing the sexual abuse. Getting them ready to be taken to the ceremonies. In other cases, the abuse occurred in educational or therapeutic settings. What I've observed over the years, Dr. Gore said, is whoever endures these things suffers catastrophic damage. The more cruel and sadistic the abusers are, and the younger the victims, the more horrifying the abuse, the smaller the chance the perpetrators will face justice because there's no one left to testify. The abusers so thoroughly destroy their victims' souls that it becomes a crime without witness, which of course serves a society that continues to abuse or maintain these rituals. We got Joanne Silberg. She's a super specialist. In one case reported in professional literature, a child abused in Israel and treated in the U.S. described how several men tortured him and recalled an incident where they submerged his head underwater. Descriptions of sadistic abuse appear consistently across all testimonies we collected. As in Imiana story, there was one ceremony like a circumcision that I underwent. I was 10 or 11. It took place in the settlement synagogue. They tied me up, similar to the binding of Isaac, and wounded my genitals. My father is there, my mother is there, a rabbi from the settlement, and I'm tied to a table, looking at a window and imagining how I could jump through it, how I might tie a rope and rappel down to the stones. I constantly wanted it to not be happening. That's what characterizes it. I continuously thought about how it wasn't happening, how I could escape. I kept telling myself I wasn't there. It's extremely difficult to understand that I was actually there, that it's me, the bound child. The youngest and most vulnerable. Organized sexual abuse occurs, as noted, throughout the world. Just in case you'd forgot, this is the fourth time it's mentioned. Researcher Michael Statler defines it as a conspiracy of several attackers to abuse several victims. Rabbi...
Dingleheimer?
No, I gotta try to get back to the fucking thing because it keeps kicking me up. Now, we are Memphis. What the fuck do I give a shit about this for? Okay. Rabbi Udi Furman quotes in his article, Ritual Abuse in Israel, Statler's definition of ritual abuse as an ideological framing in organized context of child sexual abuse, functioning as strategic practices through which abusive groups instill in victims a misogynistic worldview violently to control them. You see what I'm saying? When I tell you that they hear that you got your house bombed and they go, I don't care. What happened to you? Were you abused from 3 years old to fucking 10 years old, 13 years old like I was? No? Okay, well then shut the fuck up. You weren't forced to then rape a child afterward yourself to get some sort of transcendence? No? Okay, well build a new fucking house.
I don't even think it's like that. I think it's you haven't transcended. You're not as good as.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of it, but I think on more of a subconscious level, where you walk around believing that, like, what could you possibly say that you've experienced that I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Do you know what I went through? You know, when we say that they get this free life, when we say that they get all this free housing and free health care and free education and free food and all that, it's free, but they paid for it. They fucking paid for it. Yeah, where's the rabbi to shed some light on this, Craig? Isn't it weird how quiet he got suddenly? In other words, ritual abuse occurs when a religious, political, or spiritual authority uses their position of power to manipulate victims' belief systems and thereby control them. Ritual abuse is primarily a strategy employed by groups involved in producing images of child abuse, child prostitution, and other forms of organized abuse that does not constitute a separate category of violence. It's all the same. Furman examined attitudes among 165 adults who testified they were victims of organized ritual abuse, sexual abuse, as well as the attitudes of 174 professionals who supported victims of this type of abuse, and 88% of the reports from both groups, therapists, and victims identified identical ideological expression emerged. The ideological content and objectives were also presented in a similar order: justification of violence, justification of sexual exploitation, and maintaining power and control, followed by maintaining group commitment and ensuring redemption. I'm wrong, right? I just put all this together because I'm just a dick. I just hate people. The researchers concluded that ideologies are primarily means to justify organized sexual violence. However, in this article, Foreman argues that some reports in Israel suggest ideology wasn't merely a means to justify organized sexual violence, but form the foundation of the abuse. Meaning it's part of their shit. They're saying everything but that. They're doing everything they can to try to tell you this is part of their cult. It's what they do. This isn't some random thing that barely happens. In other words, he writes, Rabbi Furman writes, ritual abuse occurs when a religious, political, or spiritual... Oh, wait, no. This jumped again, didn't it? Yep. Rabbi Furman references, for example, the Nahalik case, which is just one of many similar cases, most occurring in ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods. For instance, a private ultra-Orthodox court writes that ritual sexual abuse is cruel and frequent, accompanied by traumatic, accusatory, and confusing ceremonies. The abuse is carried out by large criminal organizations and/or cults and/or secret organizations with financial investment and recruitment of assisting personnel. The abuse carries for its perpetrators substantial profits, such as satisfaction of deviant urges, commerce, and child exploitation materials, threats and extortion, and more. According to Furman, the court document describes the practice of organized abuse from preparing the scene through recruiting collaborators from educational institutions and transportation drivers to the ceremonies themselves. The ceremonies take place under the leadership of an important rabbi. After a Torah lesson, approximately every 2 weeks, parents gather with their children for what is called soul correction. All couples recite psalms together, sing verses repeatedly with melody, all while standing without clothes. They stand in a circle, naked, praying, lighting candles. The children are positioned in the middle of the circle, also naked. You guys fucking see this shit? You understand? Why'd the rabbi run away? I'm just making all this up. It's just slander and defamation, right? In the document intended for parents, educators, and rabbis, the ultra-Orthodox court, Shari Misfat in Jerusalem, details numerous methods and actions taken by abusers, aiming to warn and raise awareness of this spreading phenomenon and to protect children. Among other things, the document states that to shield themselves from exposure, abusers deliberately act in extreme ways contrary to logic, so that even if the children tell, they will sound completely delusional. That's the quote. Delusional. Gosh. Doesn't that seem familiar? Completely delusional if they suggest that they've been violently. It is so bad that people accused will hear it and go, oh, you're just lying. You're trying to get attention. You're trying to get really, really negative, awful attention. And then have your family call you a liar for, confiding. And are you fucking kidding me? Just think about this shit. Look, this dumbass is commenting on something in the video. Not what's being said, not the evidence being presented, but something else. So he can clearly see that the something else is way more important to him than this ritualistic sexual abuse. Oh shit, here we go. They just moved me to a different article. How Israel destroyed Assad's Syrian Navy. There's the good old standard. Now I gotta find this fucking shit again. Da-da-da-da-da. In a partial list, actions are described, including abusers using disguises and masks, alongside sadistic torture such as forcing children's hands into boiling water, submerging them underwater for several seconds, or threatening them with aggressive animals to frighten them and intensify the traumatic effect. Gee, what does that sound like? Does that sound like Acro? Intensify the traumatic effect. Additional mentions. Additional mentioned actions include inserting objects and work or kitchen tools into children. To humiliate children and instill feelings of guilt and shame, perpetrators show them pictures of themselves naked or give them food while telling them they ate carry-on. Organized mock wedding ceremonies between children, forcing them to eat feces, and stage their burials. Forcing them to eat feces. They collapse all self-trust and the ability to resist, Frobin said. The regular and frequent abuse is so destructive that the children despair of normality, and the abuse becomes their life routine. Psychiatrists have diagnosed a complete personality fracture in the normal part, allowing the child to continue functioning normally at school. Blah, blah, blah. The motives are not... Silberg says participants have their own motives, such as sexual deviations, bizarre ideological afflictions that include conducting ceremonies or economic enrichments, for example, through human trafficking for sexual exploitation or producing images of child sexual abuse. These motives are not necessarily shared by all members. Don't worry, not all of them share these things. They're throwing these little buffers in there. Dr. Silberg also further notes that networks engaged in producing and distributing child sexual abuse materials. I can't believe they keep calling it CP, including organized abuse, have been exposed worldwide. So here we go. That's what is that? 6? Is that the 6th time? Is that 5 or 6?
I don't remember.
I think that's 6. And despite the reoccurring, almost ideological skepticism, there have been several successful convictions of members of organized abuse networks worldwide. Again, you can't say that anyone else but you are doing these specific organized rituals. Like, they're your group's rituals. So you saying it happens worldwide just means because...
You guys are physically located.
Yeah, you guys are doing it worldwide. Right. Nobody else is inserting shofars into people.
Most people don't know what a shofar is.
They are arresting our pedophile in the moment. Windsor home is on fire now? Wait, what? Prince Andrew's home is on fire?
Good.
Change the station. Probably behind you. I just turned the TV on. Oh, there it is.
Will notice. So, if you're ready to save energy and save money, DTE is ready.
Check CBS. No, this won't be it. It's going to be 2 or 62.
Every year, 1 in 5 Americans experience some type of
2 or 62.
Here, see if you can pull it up on your phone. Are you in the middle of something? If you're in the middle of something, that's cool, because I'll just pull it up on here. Look, this article just goes on and just details. It just details all. I mean, it's insane how much detail exists about this, and I highly suggest you go read it. The link to the article will be in the description. But hey, let's see. Maybe he was just being metaphorical. Fire engine spotted arriving at Andrew Mittenbaum's Windsor home. Yeah.
Firefighters enter Mountbatten Windsor's home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the.
There's a lot of guys that do what we do, but we're the guys that do it right.
You just got in a crash, and you call some random name on a billboard who's not even licensed in Michigan. Now you're trusting a stranger with your future.
So what were they destroying? Or what?
Firefighters entered the property briefly before departing within minutes.
Oh.
There were no police or security around. The fire engine suddenly arrived.
Boo and hiss.
They all went in and came out perhaps 5 or 6 minutes later. No one had an idea of what was going on. They think it was automatic fire alarm activation, so it was a false alarm.
It's time for GMA3.
Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've been on here again way much longer than I wanted to be, but I can't help it. Like, how do you not see this and care? You should care. Have a great day. Check out all the links in the description. www.the-bilderberg bilderberg-group.com. It's free. When you click on download and ask how much, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. You click 0 and it's free. All we ask is to share it with somebody. You'll see a link to. Second link will be to Hollywoodism, most important film ever made. Third link is to that article I was just reading. So go read it for yourself. Blow your fucking mind. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, him and Trump and Epstein used to be called the Three Amigos. Three Amigos. Glad to see he's back on TV, aren't you?
Oh, I missed them.
Anyway, have yourself a great day. You pedophiles, kill yourself. Oh, Rabbi, thanks for coming and proving the point. Really appreciate that. Pedophiles, kill yourself. Wait for it.